and Bentley Cutler hitting eighth. And then bringing up the bottom of the order is Mike Kenny, the second baseman. So top to bottom, the top of the order is Mershon, Whalen, and Anderson. Middle of the heart of the order, Walsh, Youngblood, and Campbell. And then Tuffy, Cutler, and Kenny, the bottom of the order for the Marlins. That's how they're going tonight. And on the hill, they have Devaney, who's their starting pitcher. The batting order for you have the Sharks batting order?
I got the Sharks batting order pulled up. So leading off for the Sharks tonight is going to be the third baseman, A.J. Mendolia, followed by back-to-back Pirates with Luke Nowak batting second and Cam Burgess batting third. Both of them are out of East Carolina University. Batting cleanup tonight is going to be Alex Barton out of Belmont University, followed by Cam Hassard, shortstop out of Villanova. In the sixth hole, we're going to have Ethan Wilder out of Lander College playing second base, and then Drew Sturgeon out of Central Arkansas. Batting eighth is going to be Case Kermode out of Mount Olive, followed by Dolan Jeffries in the ninth slot out of Mount Olive. On the bump for tonight for the Sharks is going to be Miles Daniels out of North Greenville.
So as we get ready here to move towards the national anthem, let's just tell you tonight's umpiring crew: Robert Hemingway working the plate, Kyle Bunjo working first base, Michael Brody working the rest of the field. As always, we hope to never mention their names again, so there's no controversy. We're ready now for the national anthem, so we'll take you out to the field and let you listen.
I want to invite all of you to join me in singing this tonight. If you wish to do so. I'll use a countdown, 3, 2, 1. Everybody good? 3, 2, 1. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flame, her bombs bursting in air, gave prayer through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, there you go, tonight's national anthem, joined in by a substantial part of the crowd.
Yeah, you know what they say, teamwork makes the dream work, but I don't know if the team was all the way in that one.
You know, the crowd isn't really very big tonight. We've got a Tuesday night game. It's the only game, I think, on the eastern side of the Coastal Plain League, which is why we're the headliner. I know that they had ticket pre-sales that were sort of in the mid-800s, so with a little bit of a walk-up box, maybe we touch up against 1,000 people. Certainly every chance in the world for you to hop in your car and come on down and watch the game. So now we've had the official play ball announcement, and the battery is on the field getting ready for the warm-up pitches. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back with baseball. Okay, back in the Shark Tank in Wilmington, we're just about ready to get underway. As the last couple of warm-up pitches come in, then we'll have the throw down to second base. Marlins coaches heading down to their coaching boxes at first and third. Crowd's got a little bit of enthusiasm going as we get ready to start the ball game.
Yeah, big Tom Lamont is always just bringing the juice down there. Just getting the crowd into it, get them riled up. It needs to be loud tonight if the Sharks want to have any chance of winning this one.
So let us walk you down the Sharks defense. We think that's always helpful right here as we get underway, so you can get a picture in your head about what we're doing on defense. And here's how it lines up. Luke Nowalk over in left field, Dolan Jeffries in center, Drew Sturgeon in right. Then A.J. Mendolia at the hot corner at third, Cam Hassard at short, Ethan Wilder at second base, and Cam Burgess over at first. Your battery is Miles Davis on the bump and Case Kermode behind the plate. So again, left to right, that's Nowalk, Jeffries, and Sturgeon. Then around the infield, Mendolia, Hassard, Wilder, and Burgess, Daniels, and Kermode. Here's the first pitch. That's up and away for ball one from Miles Davis to the Marlins leadoff hitter, Mershon, Joseph Mershon. Joseph Mershon has got a very, very healthy batting average. He's a dangerous hitter. Here's the windup in the second pitch. And that's a called strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, Mershon's always wanted to do some damage to us here whenever they come to town. Definitely a player to watch out tonight.
Yeah, hitting .429 in league play. So by any stretch, that's a fabulous batting average. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. And that's called strike on the outside corner for 1-2. So Daniels throwing strikes as we get going at a ball and 2 strikes now to the Marlins leadoff hitter. Here's a windup in the pitch. That's way outside. Runs the count even to 2-2.
Yeah, and a strikeout here for Daniels would be great for his confidence moving forward in this part of the game with a player with a caliber such as Mershon. Retiring him to start off the game is great moving forward.
Bobby Whalen, the right fielder, or the left fielder, is on deck. That's inside, and I think it hit him. It did hit him, and so that's going to put Mershon on base. I misspoke. When I looked at the statistics, I was looking at his overall, which counted exhibition games and non-conference games and such. In Coastal Plain League games, Mershon hitting .272 on the year. So, still, pretty dangerous. That'll bring up Whalen. Whalen's hitting at .286. He's the starting left fielder, Bobby Whalen. Now Daniels is going to work out of the stretch. He's a lefty, takes a look over at first base, winds and fires. That's outside for ball one. Now he throws over to first base, sort of a just don't forget that I'm over here rather than a throw made with enthusiasm and anger. Runner dives back in, not very close. So a ball and no strikes to Bobby Whalen. Daniels comes home, and that's up and away for ball two, now 2-0.
Yeah, Daniels getting behind here. Cannot afford another walk. Having 2 on, no one out is not the way he'd like to start the game.
That's right. First one wasn't a walk. It was a hit by pitch, but the point is right. Can't put another runner on him free. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's up for ball 3. So now 3-0. Pretty good lead over there, actually, for Mershon. Burgess is holding him to the plate. Daniels comes to the plate, and that's ball 4. So 4 straight balls to Bobby Whalen puts him on base, and this is not a very good start. Now they've got 2 on and nobody out. That'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Anderson. Anderson comes to the plate hitting .290 in league play. Nate Anderson, their center fielder, he's a left-handed batter. And now they've got Mershon on at second, Whalen on at first. Nobody out. Miles Daniels comes set, checks both runners, winds and fires, and that's a bunt. Pops straight up in the air. It's going to be handled by Case Kermode for the catch. So the number 3 hitter, Anderson, can't get the bunt down, pops it straight up. It's handled in foul territory by Kermode for the first out. And that's, I think the Sharks caught a break there.
Yeah, big time, Doug. That's a great way to get a first out. Not a lot of pitches, just one there. That's all it took.
So that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Walsh. Will Walsh, their first baseman, hitting .279. Steps in. Runner's still at first and second. Winds and fires, and that's swung on and fouled right over our heads in the press box here back towards the concourse. Walsh is a big, tall guy standing in from the right side of the plate. I should also mention this for the Sharks on defense. They're not holding the runner at first, and he's got a huge lead. They're playing back in the middle of the infield looking to turn 2.
Yeah, that's what was huge about that first out. Gives them that opportunity to turn 2 and possibly get out of this inning.
And that's swung on. That's going to be a ground ball to short. It'll be handled right there and tossed over to second base for the out. Really the only play. Hassard takes it on one hop, flips it over to Wilder, and they get the force at second base. Runner from Mershon moves over from second to third. And so now the Marlins have runners at first and third, but they're 2 out.
And I believe Youngblood's stepping into the box now for the Marlins.
He's their DH, hitting just under 300 at .291. A couple of home runs and 21 RBIs on the year. That's a robust number for the Coastal Plain League.
Yeah, not too shabby.
So lefty on lefty. Daniels comes to the plate. That's a called strike.
Big first pitch strike there from Daniels.
Daniels has got a chance to get out of this without any damage. Marlins have runners on at first and third. Mendolia playing way off the line over at third base and almost even with the bag. Burgess holding the runner on over at first. Here's the windup in the 0-1 pitch. That's outside. Crowd's a little unhappy about it, and Kermode sort of froze the pitch there to give umpire a good look at it, but ruled the ball. So 1-1. Daniels comes home. That's swung on. That's hit way deep into left field, and it's going to be foul. Sharks caught a break there. It kept slicing over, slicing away, like it does when you get a lefty that's going the opposite way.
Yeah, and that's dangerous. Luke Nowaks, he's got some wheels on him, but if that one was in, I don't think he could have gotten there. That would have been really bad for the Sharks there, giving up a run and maybe even 2.
Yeah, you're right. And the runner would have been going on contact with 2 outs, so he had a good chance, I think, of scoring all the way from first. But now, ball and 2 strikes, so Daniels is ahead in the count. He's got him where he wants him. Here he comes to Youngblood. That swung on and he struck him out. So Daniels works his way out of putting the first 2 runners on, and the Sharks escape without giving up a run of any kind. So at the end of the half an inning, we're still tied 0-0. Sharks coming up to bat. We'll be back. All right, we're back, ready now to head into the bottom of the first. Really good piece of pitching there by Miles Daniels. He gets a bunt that was just a pop-up in foul territory, then the one hopper out to Hassard for the force play, and then strikes out the batter after the runners had moved over.
Yeah, fantastic job getting out of that inning unscathed after giving up 2 free bases to start that inning off. 2 on, 2 out. He was able to get to work and retire the rest of the side.
Yeah, and the dangerous one actually was the foul ball that went way down the left field line, the opposite way.
Up to bat for the Sharks.
If that had gotten down,
13,
you're right that it would have been at least one and maybe both.
Mendolia.
So the Sharks are going to send up the top of the order: Mendolia, Nowalk, and Burgess. We've talked about it before, Sid. Mendolia has one of the best eyes for a young hitter I've ever seen. He will not swing at something that is not a strike.
Yeah, his plate discipline is second to none, Doug. He's been red hot recently, too.
First pitch is a called strike. So 0-1 to AJ. On the hill for them is Ryan Devaney. Now the count 0-2.
Yeah, Devaney's got him right where he wants him now. AJ Mendolia is a player that's known for fighting back, but down 0-2 to start this game off isn't too good.
That's down and away and a ball. Well, I've never seen that. The pitcher just appealed for a call to first base. So a ball and 2 strikes to A.J. Mendolia. Let's see if he can work himself back into the count here. Devaney comes set. Roxon fires. That's way inside for ball 2. So A.J. gets it back now even to 2-2, where he's got a chance to pounce on something good. Wind up in the pitch, and that's chopped to the second baseman. That'll be handled out there by Kenny, and he throws him out.
Yeah, he swung at that. He didn't really look too confident with that swing.
I think it ran in on his hands just a little bit. So Devaney, what do you say?
Looks like Devaney.
Okay. All right, Devaney throwing hard. Had a couple of balls in that first at bat that touched 90 miles an hour. And it'll bring up Luke Nowalk. Hitting in the number 2 hole is Luke. He bats left-handed. And he's also playing left tonight, which is a little odd. Wind up in the first pitch to Luke. That's chopped down now to the shortstop. Marchand handles it, throws him out. So very quickly, the Sharks' first 2 hitters, Mendolia and Nowalk, hit into infield ground balls. One to short, one to second. And now there's 2 out.
Yeah, Nowak's got some wheels on him. It looked like for a second there he might be able to beat that out, but great play from the Marlins shortstop.
Rashawn's a good baseball player. We've seen him a few times already this year, and he's got very solid fundamentals. Here's the windup in the first pitch. That's low to Cam Burgess. Burgess comes hitting 296. Here's the 1-0 and swung on and missed for strike 1. I'm not sure that was a strike. Maybe it was. It looked a little low, but ball and a strike nonetheless to Burgess. I'll tell you this, too. Devaney works quickly. He's up on the hill, looking in, gets the sign. Now he winds and fire. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's outside for ball 2.
Yeah, Devaney's very much pitching to his cadence right now. Not giving those batters a lot of time to get set in the box.
2 balls and a strike now. Wind up in the pitch. And that's a called strike and makes it 2-2. Right at 90 miles an hour on that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Cam Burgess. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Devaney comes home. That's swung on and chopped down to third. That's going to be deep. It's going to be a very long throw into the dirt. But got him. Nice play over there by the first baseman and a good stop and throw by McGuire Tuffy over at third base. And that'll retire Burgess. That'll retire the side. That'll end the first inning. At the end of 1, 0-0. Marlins coming up to bat in the top of the second. We'll be back. All right, we're back now as we head into the top of the second. You can see on the field that on his way over to the dugout, Russ Burrows, the manager for the Sharks, stopped to have an extended conversation with the field umpire. Don't exactly know what that was about, but it was for the entire amount of the warm-up pitches as we head now into the top of the second inning.
Yeah, maybe it had something to do with that first baseman's stretch at the end of that last play. Kind of impeded the baseline there, but in my opinion, he was just making the play, did nothing wrong.
Up to bat, number 5, Shane Campbell.
I do know this. Russ rarely has something to say that he doesn't think is meaningful. And the longer the conversation goes, the more engaged he gets on it. But there didn't seem to be any heat. Russ rarely has any heat to him. So that'll bring up Campbell as the leadoff hitter, and that's swung on, and it's a high fly ball. It's going to be handled out there, I think, by Ethan Wilder. He makes the call and makes the catch.
Yeah, good.
So a high fly ball to second base.
Yeah, good play by Ethan Wilder to track that one down. That ball was hit higher than Tommy Chong. Good thing he was able to keep his wits about him, keep his eyes out of the sun, and make the play.
Tell you this, if that had been later on tonight, it would have been a tough play because I think it was above the light standards, and which means it gets up into the dark and then has to come down through the lights, which is always a little harder. This will bring up Tuffy now. And the first pitch, I think he's going to, I'm not sure if he's going to get first base or not. I thought I heard that hit the bat.
Sounded like it hit the bottom of the bat there.
That's what I thought too. I thought it hit maybe the knob.
But I guess it might have hit him in the funny bone. He's holding that right elbow. Ain't nothing funny about a funny bone.
Well, that was a funny line. So Tuffy, the third baseman, Uguar Tuffy, is going to take his base on the second hit batter tonight by Miles Daniels. And that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Cutler. Brantley Cutler is their right fielder. He bats from the left side of the plate. Now 1 out and 1 on. Tuffy over there after having been hit by a pitch. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's swung on and went the other way and pops over into the foul territory over there. And an excellent play by a fan sitting down the left field line.
Looked like an older woman there.
That's what I was going to say. Good stop.
Those are some reflexes there by the gray hair.
Yeah. So no balls and a strike to Cutler. Here's a windup in the 0-1 pitch, and that's fouled away again. That's way off over to the left side, out past the batting cages and such.
Yeah, that one was into the swamp.
So now 0-2 on Cutler with a runner on first base, Tuffy. 1 out. Tuffy doesn't have a very big lead, and he's being held over there, however, by Burgess. That's swung on, and a line drive directly at Luke Nowak, who makes the catch. Nowak had to move like a step and a half in order to field that, or hit almost right at him, just a nibble over to his left, and he sticks out the gloves and make the catch. So now 2 out. But it was hit pretty hard, Sid.
Yeah, it was hit straight at him, though. Nowak, usually in right field and left field tonight, he's already been pretty busy, having to move around a lot.
So now 2 outs with a runner at first base. Number 9 hitter comes up. That's Mike Kenny, the second baseman. Here's the windup in the pitch to Kenny, and that's a called strike on the outside corner. So no balls and a strike. Always wonderful, I think, to be throwing first pitch strikes.
Yeah, Daniels has done a good job of that these past 2 batters.
Here's the windup in the 0-1. That's a little bit high for ball 1, so now 1-1. I don't have the impression that Tuffy plans to go anywhere off of first base either. He's doesn't have a very big lead and doesn't show signs of being aggressive on the base paths. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. So now a ball and 2 strikes on the second baseman, Mike Kenny. And 2 outs. So Miles Daniels looking to finish this top of the second inning quickly here. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's swung on and fouled back towards the parking lot.
Yeah, Doug, you know that foul ball is presented by Novus Glass.
Foul ball is presented
As always, don't have your day shattered. Call Novus Glass.
A ball and 2 strikes. Daniels comes set, takes a look at the runner who's not very far, now comes to the plate. That's swung on and chopped off to short. Hassert's going to handle it, flip it over to Ethan Wilder for the easy force, and that'll finish off the inning. Another solid inning from Miles Daniels and good defense by the Sharks. So now at the end of an inning and a half, we still have no score. We'll be back.
It's time for some sauce pong.
So we're back now, getting ready into the bottom of the second inning. There's some entertainment going on the sidelines with balls in buckets, I guess. That's what I'm going to call it. Soft toss, I think is what they call it, right?
They're calling it sauce pong. Not a whole lot of
Sauce
pong.
pong.
Yeah, they definitely don't have any type of jumper over there. That form is broken. Oh, he just called him little.
So R.J. Sales now warming up in the bullpen for the Sharks. I think the Sharks intend to use any number of pitchers today. So the Sharks will send up the number 4, 5, and 6 hitters in their lineup. Barton, Hassert, and Wilder. This will be Barton. He's DHing tonight. Wind up in the pitch, and that's fouled off down towards the beer garden. Barton's been playing first base, and I'm pretty impressed with his skills over at first base, to be frank.
Yeah, usually that position's going over to Cam Burgess, but Barton's been doing a good job filling that gap.
Here's the windup in the 0-1. That's inside and runs the count now to 1-1. Barton is new to the Sharks. He only came over to us, about a week, maybe 10 days ago?
Yeah, not too long ago. He started off playing exhibition games, but that one's in there for a ball.
Yeah, that drifts outside.
Yeah, he started off with exhibition games and got that call up from manager Russ Burrows. Must have liked what he saw.
Here's a 2-1. That's inside now, 3-1. Yeah, he had a dinger in his first game, and I think it was it to left or was it dead red?
Left.
It was to left, right? Right, left, left.
Right, left, middle,
left.
center, up, down.
Here's a 3-1 pitch now to Barton. Oh, and that hits him in the buttocks. So the good news is it doesn't hurt that bad. The bad news is you got a bruise on your butt. And it was a breaking ball, so it really didn't hurt that bad. All right. So Barton, using his butt, becomes a runner at first base.
Now this is a guy right here that the Sharks really like to have in this position. One on, no one out. Cam Hassert, very productive at the plate this season. Let's see if he can advance that runner, maybe drive him home.
Hassert bats from the right-hand side. Runner at first. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's swung on and a base hit right through the hole between third and short. Hassert goes just a little bit the other way and runs the ball out into left field on a base hit in the hole between third and short. So the Sharks have got something going here. They've got runners now at first and second. Barton got hit in the butt, and he's at second, and Hassert singles to move him over there. And so that'll bring up Ethan Wilder. Wilder comes in hitting .266. And here's the way he squares around a bunt. He lays it down, and it's out in no man's land. That's going to bring the runners over And he's pulled the throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and Wilder's safe.
Yeah, and that's going to be bases loaded with no one out for the Sharks. Drew Sturgeon stepping in now for the Sharks.
That
Looking
was
to drive one in here.
That was an exceptionally well-placed bunt, just sort of out in no man's land in the triangle between the catcher, the third baseman, and the pitcher. Third baseman picked it up and then had to throw hard and pulled the first baseman Walsh off the bag. So the Sharks have the bases loaded and nobody out. Drew Sturgeon up at the plate. Sturgeon is a lefty. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's swung on, and that's a base hit. That's out into right field. One run is going to score. They're going to hold the other runners up. As the throw comes into the plate, now it gets past the catcher, and a second runner comes in to score, and the runners move up to second and third. So at the end of it all, right, Wilder ends up at third, Sturgeon at second, Hassard comes in to score, and Barton comes in to score on a big, big base hit off into right field, and that was hit hard.
Yeah, it was a great piece of hitting by Drew Sturgeon. Jumped all over that first pitch that he saw, able to drive in 2 runs. And Sturgeon kind of been struggling at the plate as of recently. Definitely got his monkey off the back there.
So listen to this one, Sid. Barton, who got hit in the butt, comes back to bite the pitcher in the butt by coming around to score. How good is that?
There you go.
Here's the windup in the pitch. First one is a ball. Now to Case Kermode. Runners at second and third, still nobody out. 2 runs home for the Sharks, and this is what they need. They need to jump on the Marlins hard and early. Fins up here at the Shark Tank. 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's a called strike.
Yeah,
so the middle of the order with Barton, Hassard, and Wilder gets it done, and then Sturgeon delivers a big hit. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Sid.
Oh, no worries, Doug.
Ball and a strike. Case Kermode up at the plate, wind up in the pitch. That's inside for ball 2 now. 2 balls and a strike. Kermode hitting only 169. Sturgeon was hitting only 193 when he came up, but he had a big hit to start the rally that led to the win last night. Scored the winning run.
There you go. Sturgeon heating up now.
Here's a 2-1 pitch, and that's fouled off down towards the Sharks' dugout. Make the count 2-2.
Yeah, and Doug, as you said, the Sharks would love to jump all over the Marlins here hard and early. Whenever they score, they like to score runs in bunches. No one out, still 2 men on. Let's see if they can drive a couple more in this inning.
Marlins have the infield all in. First, second, and third all on the grass. That's outside, and now runs the count all the way to 3-2. Shortstop is playing back almost on the outfield grass, but first, second, and third are all playing. First and second are all the way up on the grass. Third baseman's at least even with the bag.
Yeah, and second looks like he might be even 1-2 steps in on the grass. Playing real close.
Here's a windup in the 3-2 pitch, and that is a walk as it's inside. So Devaney having a little bit of hard time with strike zone right now and throwing strikes. Sharks now have the bases loaded again. Still nobody out, Sid.
And they're getting to that point in the lineup. If they can turn over to the top of the lineup here, AJ Mendolia is a great person you'd like to have in these situations for the Sharks.
Dolan Jeffries had the winning RBI last night in the top of the 9th for the Sharks, and he stands in there now. And Jeffries has got a lot of speed. So if he can get something even down on the ground, he's got a decent chance. Bases loaded, nobody out. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's off speed. A sort of a fake throw, if you will, or showing a throw behind the runner over at first base. Kermode has got a gigantic lead down at first, but the first baseman's nowhere near the bag. So in that case, sort of made like he was going to go lunging back and then said, never mind. Ball and no strikes. That pitch is inside for ball 2. A little frustration, I think, from Devaney as he's having a hard time getting the ball over the plate. Now, 2 balls and no strikes to Dolan Jeffries.
And anything that is all over the plate, Sharks batters are jumping all over it.
So 2-0. Devaney looks in, winds and fires. That's a called strike. I don't think Dolan Jeffries was going to swing at that, no matter where it was.
Yeah, that one
That's
could have been a meatball down the middle and probably would have laid off. Smart batting, though. Smart strategy.
Here comes the 2-1. That's swung on, and that's a base hit. One run is going to come in. Here comes a second run. He's heading for home. Here comes the throw. It goes into third. They're not going to get him there, but they're going to get... No, Jeffries gets in under the throw. So Dolan Jeffries uses his speed, makes a hard turn immediately at first base, and dives in underneath a pretty good throw that came over on the cutoff.
He was definitely beat there. Great slide by Dolan Jeffries just to get under that tag, get in there safely.
So give Jeffries 2 RBIs on the base hit, as a base hit over into right field brings in both runners in front of him, and then Kermode goes all the way from first to third, forces the right fielder to make a throw in towards third base. It gets cut off as they try and get Dolan coming in behind over to second base, and Dolan slides in safe. So the Sharks now with runners at second and third, 4 runs in, still nobody out, top of the order. First pitch to A.J. Mendolia is a strike. Mendolia, I think, just had a look on his face like, he hasn't thrown strikes to anybody. Why me?
And Mendolia really loves these type of situations here, looking to drive in a couple RBIs as he did the other night.
Here comes the 0-1, and that's swung on and fouled off again towards the parking lot. Ooh, saw that take a hard bounce right towards my car.
Yeah, and that foul ball was presented by Novus Glass. Everyone knows a plumber crack, but when your windshield has a crack, you know who to call. Call Novus Glass.
I'm going to need that phone number, I think. So no balls and 2 strikes to Mendolia. Runners on second and third. 4 runs home. Still nobody out for the Sharks. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that's swung on. Goes the other way. I think it's going to drift into foul territory, and it does, down in the Sharks bullpen.
Yeah, if that was straightened out a little bit with that low porch and Landshark landing out there in right field, might have been a home run.
Tell you what, that's impressive power for going the other way.
No doubt.
No balls and 2 strikes to A.J. Mendolia. Runners at second and third. Kermode at third. Jeffries at second. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That's inside for ball 1. Mendolia looked like he was thinking about swinging at it. Now he's going to walk away.
Yeah, he's shaking his hand. That one might have hit his knuckle.
I think that's what he's telling the umpire. He says, it grazed me right on the knuckle. It hit me. Here comes Ross Burrows in and wants to see whether somebody else had a view of it. Mendolia acted like it hit him. Let me say this. I know AJ. He's a fantastic actor. Who knows? But he immediately jumped away as if the ball had at least grazed his knuckles. Now the umpires are going to have a conversation and see whether anybody got a better view.
He took his glove right off and showed him some evidence. Now they're going to have a little meeting about this. If I was Miles Daniels, I would not be happy. Or Ryan Devaney, sorry.
Yeah, I'm guessing Miles is pretty happy about the whole thing. He's got a 4-run lead right now.
Oh, yeah, he's got some run cushion. He's having some time to just hang out in the dugout with his boys.
So it's a fairly lengthy conversation. I'm not 100% sure what they're all talking about. I mean, it's sort of like, what'd you see? But we're going to have the umpires get together. And now they're going to give him first base. So Mendolia draws a hit by pitch and heads down to first base after a fairly extensive discussion amongst the
now it looks like the Marlins manager is going to come out and he has a couple words for Blue.
Yeah. So the 3 umpires, Hemingway, Bunjo, and Brody, get together, rule that it's a hit by pitch, and I think the Marlins umpire wants to know, hey, did the kid talk you into it? But anyway, there's another conference going on down the third base line at the moment anyway. AJ is over on first base having a pleasant conversation, I think, with Will Walsh out there. They're, sort of saying whatever. And now a couple of people coming out of the Sharks dugout, I think for AJ to complain about his knuckle.
I think they're just checking on their boy, making his eye.
Well, that would be the trainer, and she is not coming out. I saw her there at the top, and she's not coming out. Oh.
Looks like Austin Skipper might be interning for the trainer.
Well, and Austin Skipper, by the way, gave us the thumbs up like, yep, it really hit him. Well, so there's all you really need to know right there. Completely unbiased opinion from Austin Skipper.
And he cannot tell a lie.
No. So Luke Nowak is now going to come up with the bases loaded. Still nobody out.
And Luke Nowak, he's been really productive with runners on base this season. CPL All-Star, ECU right fielder starting next season. Let's see what he can do here.
Here's the windup in the first pitch. And that goes off the shin guards. That's going to bring in a run, and the runners are also going to advance. So Kermode comes down the line and scores on a ball buried in the dirt and off the shin guards of the catcher, Campbell, and then all the way back.
Now, Doug, this is a 5-run bottom of the second inning for the Sharks, and there are still no outs.
Still nobody out, and that's a wild pitch, and a run comes in to score. And that'll bring up Cam Burgess. Now runners on at second and third. That's Dolan Jeffries down at third, and Mendolia at second. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's a called strike. Marlins infield is still pulled way in. First baseman Walsh is already has his toes on the infield grass. So does McGuire Tuffy over at third base. He's a couple steps off the grass. But they're deep at second and short, looking to cut off ground balls that might go out into the outfield. Marlins have a relief pitcher warming up in the bullpen. Tyler DeLizo warming up in the bullpen for the Marlins. 5 runs already in, still nobody out, 2 balls and a strike, and that's swung on, and it's a ground ball to second. It's going to be backhanded there. There's a throw all the way into the Sharks' dugout, and that's going to let 2 runs score, and a runner is going to go ahead and take second base on the overthrow. So Nowak ends up at second base on a ball that was, I'm not exaggerating, 10 feet over the first baseman's head.
Yeah, I don't know
On a
who he
routine
was
play.
aiming that.
A routine play.
Yeah, I don't know who he was aiming at there. That was just ridiculous.
I watched also the body language from Devaney, and he walked off the mound going like, I can't believe it. The crowd is into it. There's a little bit of, I would say, heckling going on, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah, and I got a 14, 15-year-old sister at home, and she could have made that play there. That was an easy money, slow play. All he had to do was, he could have thrown it underhand and would have beat him. Instead, he sails that thing all the way into the dugout.
No, that was nowhere near first base. I mean, I'm sorry, nowhere near it. But I'm a little disturbed. Let me just ask you a question, okay? Do you know how old your sister is?
She's 15.
Okay.
Took me a second.
Yeah, all right. Well, no, she's probably listening tonight, and she's a little unhappy about it all.
She'll get over it, Doug.
All right. Well, as the PA man plays, we've had a bad day. There's a convention going on the mound. There's going to be a new pitcher into the game for the Marlins. So let's recap.
Yeah, and talk about a bad day, Doug. 7 runs in the bottom of this second inning, only on 3 hits. Hasn't been a good day at the office for Ryan Devaney.
And 2 errors, a hit in the butt, and a hit in the knuckle. So it's been a pretty rough inning for the Marlins. Well, look, we've got a new pitcher into the game. We'll get you the details about that. But we're going to take a break right now, and then we'll come back as we continue the bottom of the second inning with still nobody out and a 7-0 Shark lead.
Up to bat for the Sharks, number 14.
Okay,
first
we're
baseman,
back.
Cam Burgess.
That'll bring up Burgess to the plate.
Yeah, and let's see what he can do with a runner on second and nobody out still.
I think Burgess is the 9th batter of the inning now. And here goes the runner from second, and he's got third stolen easily.
Yeah, there was no chance there.
So no walk steals. Yeah, no, sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. No walk steals third. Go ahead.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Doug.
No.
There's just no way they were getting him there. He had a perfect jump, and no walk. He's got some wheels.
And there's a ground ball, and that's a base hit between third and short. That'll drive in no walk solely because he stole third. Is he going to score? Makes the score now 8-0 as Burgess singles to score no walk. And that'll bring up Barton. Barton gets to bat for the second time this inning, and here's an amazing statistic. You ready? Barton comes up to bat. It's his second at-bat of the inning, and both of his at-bats are with nobody out.
Who would have thunk it?
So the new pitcher, as we told you, is DeLuzio. Tyler DeLuzio. He's a lefty, comes to the plate, and that's a ball.
Doug, 8 runs on only 4 hits and 2 errors. This is starting to look like a Little League game out there. Stop the bleeding.
Here's the windup in the pitch. That's outside for ball 2.
Anything can happen in this league, though. We've seen it time and time again here at the Shark Tank.
Well,
big leads just shattered.
And the Marlins are a tough team. Let's not underestimate them. Here's the windup in the next pitch to Barton, and that's swung on, a high fly ball. Looks like it's going to be handled out there by the right fielder, Brantley Cutler. And it is, and that is the first out of the inning.
Now, how long have we been in this inning, Doug? I think it's taken them, 15 minutes to get that first out?
Up to bat for the Sharks, number 11, the shortstop, Cam Hassard.
So that'll bring up Hassard. Hassard had a base hit, scored a run when he batted the first time this game and the first time this inning. Now he's got a runner at first in Cam Burgess. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's a called strike. You know, I think for ease, I'm just going to say this. That's 1 strike on Cam, and Cam leads away from first. I'll let everybody else figure out who's who.
There you go.
All right.
Have
Cam
the people
doesn't have...
at home get involved.
And that ball's going to skip off of the shin guards, go all the way back to the backstop, and Cam will move up 90 feet. And it's ball 1 to Cam.
Would you look at that? That's Yahtzee on the scoreboard. 1-1-1-1.
At bat number 11, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. All right. A ball and a strike to Cam. Cam on second. Moved up after the wild pitch to Cam.
Cam.
Yeah. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Cam. And that's a called strike 2 on the outside corner. I don't think Cam was very happy about the call. And by then I'm talking about Cam Hassard. So Cam Hassard, a ball and 2 strikes. Cam Burgess over at second base. 8 runs already home for the Sharks in this inning with an 8-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. Here's the windup in the pitch. And that also goes down into the dirt. And the catcher, Campbell, blocks that one. Prevents anybody from moving up.
Yeah, DeLuzio's come into this game and honestly looks a little rattled. Was able to get that first out, but since then, it's been a little bit of a bumpy road.
I'm not sure here, but I don't have any statistics on DeLuzio. This may be his first appearance for the Marlins on the season. 2-2 to Hassert. Wind up in the pitch. That swung on, and he struck him out.
Yeah,
so
sorry, Doug. That's just a big out there for the Marlins. If they want to have any chance of getting back in this game, they cannot afford another run.
And that'll bring up Ethan Wilder for his second at-bat at the inning. Wilder scored a run. In this 8-run inning, and he's up at the plate now. Cam Burgess out at second base. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's called strike 1. So DeLuzio looks like he's settled down a little bit. He gets a big strike out there and starts Wilder with a strike. 0-1. Comes to the plate, and that's swung on and fouled back.
Now DeLuzio's going to get whiplash, moving his neck back and forth, checking on that runner at second. Goodness, shaking his head no, it looked like.
Ball was brought to you by Novus Glass. Everyone knows about a plumber's crack, but when your windshield gets a crack, call Novus Glass.
Like you said, Doug, that strikeout was huge, building DeLuzzo's confidence moving forward.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. He throws that outside, wastes one, and makes the count now 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes to Ethan Wilder. And Cam Burgess out at second base. 8 runs in, wind up in the pitch, and that's strike 3.
And he went chasing after that one.
So DeLuzzo gets himself out of the inning. Pretty good work by him to finally stop the bleeding. The Sharks nonetheless get 8 runs on 4 hits, and now as we head into the top of the 3rd inning, 8-0 Sharks. Good God, that took a lot out of me.
Goodness.
All right, we're back, and we're now ready now to head into the top of the 3rd inning. Sharks are up 8-0 after putting up a really crooked number, a snowman in the bottom of the 2nd, plating 8 runs all before they had a single out.
Yeah, that was a monster bottom of the 2nd inning there. Sharks driving in those runs. Them bats got red hot there for the Sharks.
You know, and they got a lot of help out of the Marlins, which is a little unusual, right? I mean, they had a very bad error on the second baseman who threw one away. They had a second error that I don't even remember, but I know they have 2. And they had at least 2 separate wild pitches, one of which let a run score and one of which moved runners over to take a force out of play and then followed by a base hit. So, I mean, it hurt.
And the Sharks needing this win, they'll take what they can get.
Yeah.
Them bats came alive too, though. They had 4 hits in that inning, made contact a couple of times, forcing those other 2 errors.
Yeah, and the base hits they had were really solid base hits. They were in holes and they were hit hard. There wasn't anything cheap about them. So I'm going to have to look down at my scorecard and figure out who's up for the Marlins, because I don't have a clue.
Number 8. Yeah.
All right. Marchand, so the Marlins are at the top of their order. Their leadoff man, Joseph Marchand, up at the plate. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's fouled off down the third base line. Over past the general admission seats over there, and now a ball and a strike to Marchand. Marchand hitting 371 in Coastal Plain League play. Wind up in the pitch. That's outside.
Yeah, he's been very productive for the Marlins this year. We've definitely seen him get in his zone here in the Shark Tank this year. It's fun to watch.
That's up and in, so that'll be 3-1. RJ Sales now in to pitch for the Sharks. Sales comes in after working now 7 innings on the year with 9 strikeouts. ERA a little over 5. Here comes the 3-1 pitch, and that's ball 4. Sales, I think, wonders what was wrong with that, but the answer is it's ball 4. So Sales comes into the game, walks the leadoff runner. You know, these are one of the things you've heard me say before, Sid. I'm a firm believer in it. With an 8-run lead, throw to contact. I'm not saying let them hit it, but let your defense play defense. You know, that's what they want to do.
Yeah, the Sharks' defense has been very productive this year, Doug. Wouldn't be such a bad idea. Got a couple of all-stars in that infield and a couple of all-stars out in the outfield, so pitching to contact might not be too bad.
And that's a called strike. So no balls and 2 strikes. And despite the fact that others in the booth mocked me, that's what I'm talking about, throwing strikes.
Sales checks over to first there, unable to get him.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Whalen. That's swung on and fouled back. So the Marlins have a runner at first base who walked on 5 pitches, right, on a 3-1 count. And now they've got Whalen up at the plate, the left fielder, number 2 hitter in the order. He's down in the count 0-2. Sales checks the runner. Now comes home. That's way outside, and it's going to be buried in the dirt, and it's going to get away from Kermode, and the runner is going to move up 90 feet. So Mershon trots on down to second base. He's there with nobody out. And now the count's 1-0.
Yeah, and Sales would love to get Marchand here after walking that first batter. Building that confidence with a strikeout here would be huge going forward for the Sharks defense.
Marchand's on second. This is Whalen.
Whalen, sorry.
That's all right.
Got him mixed up.
Yeah, no, but you're right on your comment. We'd still love to get Whalen in on a swinging strike would be best. And that's swung on. That's a ground ball out to Hassard. He takes it, double pumps, fires over to first, and they get them. So that's an out.
And that's easy money for Hassard over there at short. Coastal Plain League All-Star, like I said before. And that was just textbook.
And he's at Villanova, right?
Yes, sir, he is. Wildcat, baby.
A school known for its academics in the SEC.
I don't know about the SEC.
Aren't they in the SEC? No, Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. V schools. Happens to the best of us.
Villanova's in Philly.
Yes, sir.
Wind up in the pitch. That's inside for ball 1. Anderson up at the plate now. Center fielder, Nate Anderson. Anderson 0 for 1. Wind up in the pitch to him, and that's off the shin guards. Gets away, but trickles down the third base line, so there's no way that the runner can come down the line. Marchand can't find a way to get past it. That ball is buried in the dirt by Sales and kicks off of Kermode's shin guards, but didn't get far enough away from Mershon to come down the line.
Yeah,
Mershon and Mendolia having a conversation down there.
Yeah.
Probably talking about AJ's knuckles.
Bloody knuckles, man. But that's a fortunate bounce for Kermode going down the third base line, able to corral that and prevent that run from scoring.
2-0. RJ Sales on the hill. There's a windup pitch, and that's going to hit him. Nope, didn't hit him.
Not quite.
Got it out of the way. You know, you got to stand there and get yourself hit when you're down 8-0.
Yeah, come on now.
So 3 balls and no strikes now to Anderson, and Sales has had a hard time finding the strike zone. Here comes the 3-0 pitch, and that's a called strike.
Should have stood in there and took it like old Happy Gilmore. Only another 364 days until hockey tryouts.
3 balls, 1 strike. Here's a 3-1, and that's ball 4, and so he's going to walk Anderson. So now runners at first and third. Here comes pitching coach out of the dugout to have a word with RJ Sales. And I'm always intrigued by this. It seems like every time there's a trip to the mound, it's the entire infield that wants in on the conversation.
They just like to know what's happening. I don't blame them.
But nobody tells the outfielders. I mean, they're lonely. They're disrespected. They don't get to even talk to each other out there.
Yeah, they are all on individual islands.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Donald Jeffries out in center field, he hasn't moved a muscle. He's just probably taking a little snooze, maybe.
I don't know. He's got his hands
Saving
on his
energy?
knees looking like Michael Jordan during the flu game. Wonder if he's going to have his flu game tonight.
Yeah. We had a hustle double. So.
Yeah, he did. And that was a hell of a slide going into second base.
All right, so The meeting breaks up on the mound, but Kermode stays around to deliver a couple of extra sentences to R.J. Sales as he gets ready now to work to the cleanup hitter, Walsh.
The Sharks would love to turn 2 here, getting out of this inning unscathed.
Burgess is still holding against the runner over at first base. AJ's all the way up on the grass at third, and they're playing at double play depth down in the middle with Hassert and Wilder. First pitch is fouled off. So he's up, no balls and a strike to Walsh. Here comes the 0-1. Runner's going. There's a throw down. They got a chance to get him.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's
hosed.
nailed. So Kermode throws out the runner Anderson trying to steal.
And that
and
ball
that's
was
a
on a
big,
rope.
big out. He didn't really get all that great of a jump. I think he thought that the Sharks weren't going to make the throw down with a runner on third, but Kermode came out, popped straight up, and fired it down there for the second out.
Yeah, and he beat him by a mile. That was a hell of a play by Kermode.
And a well played by Hassert, who took it off a little skip. Good. So another, I think, wild pitch that gets past, goes all the way to the screen, and the runner comes down to score. There was a throw to the plate and sort of a leaping, turning, sliding bunch of dirt, but the runner's safe.
Yeah, I think it was closer than it looked there, Doug.
I think it was too. You're right.
Sales was almost able to turn around and get him with a no-look behind the back. It's going to make the game 8-1, though.
Yep. So the Marlins are on the board with a run that scores on a wild pitch, or maybe it was passed. But there's a ground ball out to Hassert. He scoops it up, makes the throw over, and that's the end of the inning. So I think the Sharks got a little lucky there and escaped with minimum damage. They give up one run in an inning that was a little choppy for R.J. Sales and got bailed out by his defense. Runner thrown out stealing and a couple ground balls to Cam Hassert.
Yeah, they did a good job there of getting out of there with only allowing one run. For a time there, it looked like it might be a big inning for the Marlins, but good job on the Sharks.
All right, so at the end of 2.5, right? It's 8-1 Sharks. Okay, we're back now as we head into the bottom of the third. Sharks with an 8-run lead. The Marlins are going to make another pitching change. They bring in Jarrett Hall. He's going to work on the hill for the Marlins as we head now into the bottom of the third inning. Here's a statistic that's very interesting, Sid. At the moment, anyway, the Marlins have one run on no hits and 2 errors. Or I'm sorry, on no runs and one run on no hits. The first pitch is a ball to Drew Sturgeon. So all of that happened with some wild pitches. There's strike one. Some wild pitches, a hit batter, and some other unfortunate stuff.
Yeah, no, that's a scoreline you don't see often. One run.
No hits.
Oh, that's pulled.
That's tattooed way down the right field line.
That's just a hard hit strike is what that is.
I think it was just a tease, maybe hitting it into the bed of the truck out there when it's not the 8th inning.
Yeah, and if you were able to straighten that one out, that one would have been absolutely nuked.
A ball and 2 strikes. That's inside now. Makes it 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Drew Sturgeon. So the Sharks looking to see if they can do some more damage here in the bottom of the third. They've got Sturgeon, Kermode, Jeffries, and if anybody gets on, it'll go back to the top of the order in Mendolia. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's swung on, chopped over to the second baseman. He's going to pick it up and handle it and make the throw, and they'll get him. I wonder if it was going through his mind about his last ground ball where he threw the ball into the dugout, but apparently not. So Kinney
For the Sharks, number 36, the
scoops it up and makes the throw over to first base.
Yeah, it looks like Kenny had to act like a goldfish there. You know why a goldfish is the happiest animal in the world, Doug?
No.
It's got the shortest memory.
You know what? I think you've been watching a certain TV show.
Might have.
1 out. Case Kermode up at the plate. Kermode walked his first time out, scored a run. I don't think he walked. He got hit in the... Was Case Kermode got hit in the butt? No. That was Barton. So Kermode walked and then came around to score. Now a ball and a strike. That's called strike 2. Jared Hall comes in throwing strikes. He's the new pitcher for the Marlins.
Now that pitch looked real enticing. I'm surprised we didn't see him go around on that.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a windup in the pitch. That's low for ball 2, now 2-2. Wind up in the pitch. That's swung on, hit very hard. Third baseman takes it off his chest, recovers and makes a strong throw. A really good play out there by McGuire Tuffy. Makes the stop on the hop by taking it off the chest. It's going to leave a mark, but then throws the runner out.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have some battle scars after that one, Doug. That was a really hard hit ball, and he just took it right off the chest.
I've got a friend of mine who played 12 years in the majors, and one of the things he's told me about the movie, with Charlie Sheen as the pitcher and stuff. One of the things he's told me about the movie is that the only thing that's really true is wind up in the pitch. There's a called strike to Donald Jeffries. Is when Corbin Burnson takes his shirt off as the third baseman, and there are like 6 bruises across the front of it. He said that thing's true. You know what? And there's a second strike, so 0-2. What he told me is that if you guys think that when the ball hit us, it doesn't bruise us, you're just wrong. By the time you get to mid-season, you got bruises everywhere, and they all hurt.
Probably
no balls and 2 strikes. And that's strike 3, so Donald Jeffries goes down on 3 pitches, and that'll be 3 outs, and that'll end us now in the bottom of the third. As we head into the top of the 4th inning, Sharks are still up 8-1. We'll be back after this.
Skip, Steph, and Katie are celebrating 26 years in Wilmington, and they would love to remind everybody to not forget to floss
think that
tonight.
somehow or another we don't get bruises, you're just not paying attention. They all hurt. So what are we in? We're an hour in, a little longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
An hour
Top
through
of the
3.
fourth.
An hour through 3 is fine. So, let's get to the 5th inning, and then let's score however many more runs we need to win this game. Number would be 3. What? That number would be 3. Well, I'm just saying.
It seems like fairly simple to add.
Unless they score any more runs. I mean, obviously we can score 3, but I mean that might not be the number in 2 innings. 2 innings.
Your IQ starting to show there, Alex.
Okay, we're back. We're getting ready now to head into the top of the 4th inning. Sharks are up 8-1. So far, the line is the Sharks have 8 runs on only 4 hits, but the Marlins have helped them out with 3 errors and a couple of hit batsmen. The Marlins, on the other hand, have 1 run on no hits. They've committed those 3 errors, and that's what leads us here to the 4th inning with an 8-1 lead. Sam Numora into pitch.
Communications calls the bullpen. Now pitching for the Sharks, number 16, Sam Numora.
Numora is finishing his warm-up pitches here, and then we'll be ready to go in the bottom of the 4th. Or I'm sorry, the top of the fourth inning.
Yeah, Nomura, he's been real productive this season. We've seen him come into games and get out of really tough situations. Let's see what he can do with a 7-run lead in the bottom or in the top of this fourth inning here.
Up to bat, number 1, Trent Youngblood.
So Trent Youngblood is going to lead off for the Marlins. Youngblood is their number 5 hitter. He bats from the left side. Here's a windup in the pitch. AJ is just taunting him down there by being 2 steps on the grass down at third base. Youngblood is the DH. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Strikeout victim the first time out. Sam Nomura, as we said, now on the hill. Nomura comes set and brings it home, and that's called strike. So a ball and a strike now to Youngblood.
Yeah, and what a name, Youngblood.
1-1.
Intimidating.
Here's the pitch. That's outside for ball 2. So now 2 balls and a strike. Trent Youngblood hitting .291, couple of home runs, 21 RBIs, and he's hitting out of the left side and out of the DH spot. Here's a windup in the pitch. That's swung on, fouled back towards the restroom facilities is what I would say. Over the grandstand here off to the left field side of home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Youngblood. Nomura looks in, gets the sign, and that ball sort of slips out of his hand, or maybe he slipped off the mound. It looked a little unusual when he threw it.
Yeah, definitely not a natural motion there. Just a bit outside.
3-2. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's swung on and hit hard out to center field. Dolan Jeffries is out there, takes 1 step, and makes the catch.
That couldn't have been any easier for Dolan Jeffries. I didn't even see him take a step.
Yeah, you're right. I think what he did is he planted his foot, said, do I need to go back or do I need to come in? And then decided he didn't need to do anything. So he stood there and made the catch.
And that's all you can ask for as a center fielder.
Hit pretty hard, but just a routine fly ball. And that's 1 out. By the way, that would be F8 on your scorecard. That'll bring in Campbell. Campbell's the catcher. He's had a difficult night. Long inning back there. Here's the windup in the pitch to Campbell, called strike 1. Campbell 0 for 1, hitting .250. Nomura starts him off with a strike. Now looks in and gets a sign from his catcher, Kermode. Comes set. Here's a windup in the pitch. That's swung on and fouled back, and that's a rocket over towards the parking lot. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, crack is whacked, Doug, and if your windshield is cracked, you know who to call. You call Novus Glass.
No balls and 2 strikes on Campbell. Nomura comes set. There's a base hit that's going to get through. We know we've lost the video part, so we're going to change batteries and we'll get the video back to you as quickly as we can.
Looks like I'm going to be on the call here while the video is getting fixed up here as McGuire's Tuffy steps in for the Marlins. Nomura gets the sign. First pitch on the way. And that's high for a ball. So it's going to be 1-0 now to McGuire Tuffy. Runner on first base for the Marlins. Second pitch. And that's low for ball 2. So Tuffy now sitting at a 2-0 count. And we got our feed back. Shout out to Doug. Quick fix there. NASCAR pit crew speed. As McGuire Tuffy grounds one. Looks like he fouled it off his foot. The count's going to be 2-1. Campbell on first for the Marlins as Nomura gets set. Fires away, and that one's fouled back for strike 2. 2-2 now to McGuire Tuffy.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back, Doug.
Fortunately, I know exactly what's going on by listening to you, Sid.
Yes, sir. I'm a Swiss Army knife, Doug. I'm a jack of all trades.
Line up in the pitch. Oh, I think he... Oh, where was that pitch? 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, and he didn't go around, but I just thought it was a strike. Trackman thought it was a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Tuffy. Runner on at first base, 1 out. Wind up in the pitch. That swung on and hit hard into right field. That's a base hit. Here comes a throw into second. Almost had a shot at the runner there, who had to wait a little bit to make sure that the ball got down. But now 2 runners on, 1 out, 1 at second and first and second. And you know what? After that stressful pitch change of the battery, I think I'm going to sit down, let you call the rest of the inning. Go, Sid.
All right.
Go, Sid. Go, Sid. Go, Sid.
Hey. Yeah, we're getting crazy in the Shark Tank tonight. As up for the Marlins is going to be Brantley Culler stepping in for the Marlins as Cutler stepping in for the Marlins as Case Kermode goes out there, and he's got a couple of words for Sam Nomura, as now they have runners on first and second, 1 out for the Marlins. And the Marlins, they've just got their first 2 hits of the ball game there, those past 2 batters. As Nomura gets his sign, gets set, fires away, and that pitch is going to be low for a ball. So it's going to be 1-0 now to Cutler. Runners on first and second for the Marlins. Nomura sets. And looks like he drew the foul ball there. Looks like Cutler tried to avoid the pitch, ended up making contact, fouled that ball off to the left side. It's going to be 1-1. Nomura fires away, 1-1 pitch, and that is driven, just a ground ball into the gap out into right field, and that's going to load the bases for the Marlins.
Up to bat, number 9, Mike Kenny.
With Mike Kenny stepping in. So it's going to be bases loaded here now for the Marlins. Not a spot you want to be in if you're Sam Nomura. First pitch on the way. That's outside for ball number 1.
Yeah, Alex, looks like you're a jinx by having noted that maybe we're going to need more runs than just 3, because now they've got the bases loaded.
Why I said it.
Could be a jinx.
And that pitch is in there for strike 1. It's going to be a 1-1 count now. Sam Nomura really needs a strikeout here, if not a double play, to limit the damage. Bases loaded here. This is right where the Marlins want to be if they want to chip away at this lead. 1-1 pitch on the way. Good pitch as that one's in there for a strike. It's going to be 1-2 now. 1-2 to Kenny. Nomura gets the sign. Sets. Fires. That's going to be just outside for ball 2. So 2-2 now to Kenny. Nomura really wants to get out of this inning now. As all pitchers do, but with bases loaded and 1 out, definitely not a fun spot to be in. Pitch on the way. That one's just a bit high. Oh, it's going to be a foul ball. Excuse me. Looks like he just tipped it. Looks like a ball from where I was seated. Looks like that one hit the knob of the bat there as Kenny sits at 2-2. Nomura gets his pitch, sets. 2-2 on the way. And that one's driven into left field. One run's going to come in to score for the Marlins. It's going to be an 8-2 ball game. So Nomura giving up a run there.
Number 8, Joseph Marchand.
And now it looks like Marlins brought it down to 6. And that's a lot better than 7. That's the only thing you can do if you're the Marlins at this point. So now it's Marchand in. Oh, and he just tanked that. That's on the way down the right field line. That's in for a fair ball. One run's going to come in to score for the Marlins. Here comes the second. And that is not where you want to be if you are the Sharks. Sam Nomura giving up a deep double to Joseph Marchand. Now it's going to be an 8-4 ball game.
That was well played by Drew Sturgeon down there, though. You know what? He got to it pretty quickly and dug it out and got the throwback in and held the batter just to a double. Not much he could do about preventing the runs from scoring, but well played off the track down there.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that, Doug. He did all he could, but that was a deep double. That one looked like it could have a chance of getting out of here.
So there's going to be a pitching change, and we're going to take a break. We'll be back.
Alright, everyone, welcome back to the Shark Tank. Now up on the mound for the Sharks is going to be number 43, TJ Demetriou. Demetriou. Either way, finds himself in a tough spot here after the Sharks have given up 4 runs in this inning. He's got runners on second and third, only 1 out.
Attention Sharks fans, this is a Seacoast Communications.
Really needs to get out of this inning and limit the damage. What was once an 8-0 ball game at the end of the second inning, Marlins have chipped away, brought it to within 4. It looks like Steven DiTomaso is going to go in the game for Drew Sturgeon. Drew Sturgeon being helped off the field by the trainer. Looks like he's holding his arm, might be hurt. And looks like DiTomaso is going to sub in right field for him.
All right, Sid, this has been a little bit of a rocky inning for the Sharks. They still only have 1 out with runners on at second and third. So see if Demetriou can, start getting a few outs going. DiTomaso comes into right. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
And the first pitch hits the batter, and now we'll have the bases loaded, and I think it got him on the bone, on the knee, Sid. So he's limping a little bit down to first base.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
the
not,
shin, maybe the kneecap.
Yeah, that's not a good spot to be hit.
Up to bat, number 10, Nate Anderson.
As Nate Anderson steps into the box for the Morehead City Marlins, and looks like the trainer's going to come out and check on him down on the first base line. Still hobbling around down there. Did not look pretty. And that's just something you hate to see if you're the Morehead City Marlins.
Well, I think you hate to see it no matter who you are. I mean, you know what? I don't want anybody limping around. So the Sharks, though, there's one benefit from that. By now having the bases loaded, they've got a chance to turn two, see if they can't find a way to get out of this inning.
Yeah, and they've really let the Marlins back into this game during this inning.
So the Sharks trainer is out there to have a discussion about it, too. And here comes the Marlins manager. So why don't we take a short break, and then we'll be back. So while we were gone, the decision's been made to
Whalen coming out of the game.
Yeah, Whalen to come out of the game. He's limping very slowly. It was, I mean, a 75-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch that hit him, but it must have gotten him right in the right place because the trainer is there and they're walking him off the field. They're going to bring in a pinch runner.
Number 12.
Number 12, whatever that means.
Oh, sorry, I took over the controls there for a second.
Hey,
I was trying to find number 12.
No, number 12. Just tell me who number 12 is.
He's a mystery man. No face, no case.
Okay.
Number 12.
Hang on here. I'm going to tell you who number 12 is. He's not on their roster. There's no...
Like I said,
nope.
Doug, no face, no case.
I take it back. He's a catching Evan Liebel.
Evan Liebel.
Yep. That's what it says.
Pitch on the way.
That's a called strike. So Evan Liebel into the game now as at least a pinch runner. We'll see whether he stays in. Wind up in the pitch. It's a high fly ball, pretty deep back there, way back there. It's going to get over DiTomaso's head. It's
ground roll double, it looks like there.
Looks like it bounced over the fence for a ground rule double. We'll have to see where it is they put the runners. At the moment, they've let 3 of them come around to score. That probably isn't right after a ground rule double. So they're going to send, I think they're going to send at least 1 runner back, probably to third base. But my guess is there'll be at least 2 runners that come across, and now an 8-1 game is now down to 8-6.
Yeah, things are always interesting in the Shark Tank.
So we're going to have another conference amongst the from the umpiring crew. I don't know what there is to talk about. I mean, I thought it was all pretty clear. The ball bounced and then bounced directly over the fence, and I don't know. I mean, at least everywhere I've been in the world, that's a ground rule double.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think DiTomaso did anything to help it over the fence, and I don't think there's any controversy that it somehow didn't go over the fence. So I'm not sure what there is to talk about. I think maybe what they're discussing is whether they're going to make the runner go back to third or whether they're going to somehow believe that he was far enough down the line that they should let him score. But
that ball was already over. All the Sharks players looked like they had given up on the play. That ball was already over the fence.
So now there's going to be an explanation to the Marlins manager. And I'm pretty sure at the end of it all they're going to say, well, sir, it bounced. It went over the fence. It's a double. The runner on first goes to third. It's not controversial. It's not in any way unusual or different. So that conversation now seems to be over, I think.
Yeah, and defensively in this inning, not where you want to be for the Sharks.
So now we have men on
6 runs.
Yeah. Now we have men on second and third. Still only one out. It's Walsh that's at the plate. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Will
So
Walsh.
the number 4 hitter, here's the windup in the pitch. That's swung on, and that is tattooed down the left field line, but foul.
A long, long foul ball. That one was close.
He turned on that one and hammered it.
And he watched that one go like he thought. I think he even thought it was gone off contact.
I thought Coach Burrows was going to come out of the dugout for a mound visit, but it looked like umpire told him either no or maybe Russ changed his mind. Here's the windup in the pitch, drops on the arm slot and comes sidearm. And that's a ball, makes it now 1-1.
Sketchy, sketchy spot for the Sharks there.
So a
That
ball
could
and
have
a
been
strike.
bad.
Dimitru comes set and swung on. That's a very high fly ball. Looks like it's going to be handled by Ethan Wilder at second, and he makes the catch for the out. So that's 2 out now on a pop fly to Ethan Wilder. Makes it 2 out. Now, umpire is heading over towards the Sharks dugout. I'm not sure what that discussion is about. It looks to be fairly intense.
Looks stern down there, Doug. Might be
And-
telling him to shut up.
Okay, well, he really just needs some more baseballs.
Doug,
So much for you and I know what we're talking about, right? Hey,
Yeah.
He was over there to go, I need some more baseballs, so they sent out the little 7-year-old ball girl with some more baseballs. No controversy.
there you go. We're
No.
just overthinking things.
Nope, yep. All right.
Ain't
That'll
no
bring
thing
up
but
young
chicken
blood.
wang.
That'll bring up young blood.
Young
2 outs
blood.
now, runner on second and third. Dimitrov trying to see if he can't get out of the inning. That's inside for ball 1. Dimitrio has that, A, he's left-handed, and B, he uses a variety of different arm slots, so you're never sure exactly what you're going to get. It's never quite straight overhand, but it's close, and then it's almost all the way down to submarine. There is an overhand pitch, and that's ball inside too, and the fans don't like the call. That looked like it was on the inside corner, and that's what Statman says. 2 balls, no strikes. Dimitru on the hill, winds and fires, and that's a strike at 56 miles an hour, so almost a ethos pitch. At
Yeah.
56, freezes Youngblood. He doesn't move at all. Now 2 balls and a strike.
That was
Who
a
knows what
neat
he's got
ball.
next? Here's the windup in the pitch. Swung on, strike 2, as he comes back with a 75 mile an hour fastball.
Now this is right where he wants them. 2 balls, 2 strikes,
So
2
that's
outs.
A 20-mile difference in change of speed there, and now makes it 2-2 with 2 outs. Runners on at second and third. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. That's up and away. Makes the count now 3-2.
Great job by Youngblood working the count, working it full, and now he's got a possibility to load the bases with a walk.
Tell you what, if I'm Youngblood, I got no idea what's coming next.
Oh, absolutely not, Doug.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Swung on. That's fouled off.
That could have been bad.
Fouled off down the third base line over into the left field, into the right over by the general admission seats. Eight-6 here as we're playing now in the top of the 4th inning. 3-2, 2 outs, runners on at second and third. Dimitrio comes through and then he walks him. And that one was not close. It was well outside for ball 4. And so Youngblood trots on down to first base, and now the bases are loaded for the Marlins. And it brings up Campbell. Campbell, 1 for 2, has a run scored tonight, and he has one of the base hits. So there'll be a discussion again at the mound.
As Russ signals to the pen, that's going to be the second pitcher for the...
Third pitcher in the inning.
Yeah, second pitcher to get subbed out. Third pitcher in the inning for the Sharks.
All right, so we'll find out who's coming in to pitch for the Sharks, and we'll give you all the information. Right now, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back. Plain League, and
Yeah.
sure as 22 seconds from now we'll come back. I won't remember any of it.
I can get it. I can get it. Welcome back to the Shark Tank, everyone, as Grayson Linderman warms up for the Sharks.
Grayson who? Grayson the Wolf Linderman.
Grayson the Wolf Linderman, and this is a good time to remind you that every single Coastal Plain League game can be caught right here on Flow Sports. Every single Sharks game, and you'll catch me and Doug up here in the booth. And that is every single Coastal Plain League baseball game, every single night is going to be on Flow Sports Baseball.
Well, we have an exciting game here. I was going to say we have a good one. I'm not sure that's 100% true, given the fact that there have been any number of errors and a bunch of hit batsmen and some walks. But I'll tell you this: we have an 8-6 ball game. It's been pretty entertaining as the game goes on, and because we're the Flow Sports Flow Baseball game of the day, you've turned into a good one. Okay, well, at least an entertaining one. 8-6. Top of the fourth inning, Sharks have brought in Grayson Linderman, the pitch, the Wolf, to see whether he can't get the third out. He winds, fires. That's a called strike. The Marlins have the bases loaded, and a base hit here will probably tie it up. So this is an important out to see if Linderman can get.
Starting him off with a strike, that's a good way to come into this game.
Wind up in the pitch, and that's outside. It's going to go all the way back to the screen. A run's going to come in and score. So the Marlins get a run on a wild pitch that doesn't go 60 feet 6 inches, probably goes 59 feet 6 inches, and then takes a huge bounce off of the dirt and high enough to get over the wall, kick off the screen, and a run comes in to score. Now it's 8-7. Runners at second and third.
Yeah, and I think all the Sharks want to do is get out of this inning here. It has been nothing short of a disaster for the Sharks in the top of this fourth.
A ball and a strike. Linderman comes set. Winds and fires. That's swung on, and it's a chopper down to Mendolia. He feels it on the hop, makes a big, strong throw over to first base, and that'll end the carnage. But as we now head into the bottom of the fourth, it's a close ball game. It's now 8-7 Sharks heading into the bottom of the fourth. We'll be back after this.
Instagram giveaway. Check out @ILM Sharks.
Okay, we're back now in the Shark Tank as we get ready to head into the bottom of the fourth. Sharks are going to send up the top of the lineup. Mendolia leading off here in the bottom of the fourth. Mendolia, Nowak, Burgess. Anybody gets on, it'll be Barton.
Yeah, Mendolia's been red hot lately, Doug. He's really looking to continue that streak here after the Sharks have all but blown that 8-run lead they had at the end of the second. It is now 8-7 as Mendolia steps up to the plate, looking to get a nice Sharks rally started here.
So
Mendolia, Doug, he brings the juice.
We're trying to get a handle on who the Morehead City Marlins pitcher is. What we know is taken.
Kevin
Opano Kevin? Kevin. Opano Kevin.
Overthinking things a bit tonight, Doug. And looks like Kevin there. He's headhunting AJ.
Wind up in the pitch, and that's swung on and fisted it. Think it's going to get down, and it does. So AJ sort of hits one off the fist that gets over the second baseman's head, drops in front of the right fielder, and gets down for a single. So Mendolia looking like he wants to get the rally started here as we're in the bottom of the fourth. We're a little confused on who the pitcher is for the Marlins.
Getting word that it's Kevin O'Pannell. I think we had it right the first time.
Well, it says here that Kevin O'Pannell's number 39, and the guy on the hill is actually number 23, Connor Irvine, so we don't know.
We're just getting fed lies, Doug.
Lies.
They're trying to make us look silly, man.
I think they're just changing jerseys just to make us look silly. No walk. And it's Kevin O'Pannell who's in for the Marlins. No walk at the plate. Here's a ball, and that ball gets back to the screen and bounces off and goes down the first base line. Mendolia is going to go down to second easily. Catcher Campbell calls timeout and is granted timeout as the ball goes all the way back to the screen.
And no walk is exactly where he wants to be ahead in this count, 2-0 with the runner on second, nobody out. See if he can get a hold of something, and AJ's got some wheels. He would most definitely be able to drive him home.
Andy's about the most aggressive base runner you can imagine, so he will be aggressive on the base paths, and we'll see whether Coach Burrows decides to send him on anything that manages to get through.
Yeah, he's looking a little clean out there on second base. Too clean. If you know AJ, he's always covered in dirt usually by the end of the first inning.
Got a little bit of a delay going here, not 100% sure why, but third baseman, I'm not sure who he's talking to there. He's all the way up on the grass as Nowalk stands in at the plate. Nowalk, as you know, is a lefty. He is 0 for 2 tonight, but has a run score. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner, now 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Luke Nowalk, left fielder tonight. Wind up in the pitch. That's a half swing, chopped down to the third baseman. He's up, makes the throw, and they get the runner at first base, and AJ can't move over because the ball is to the third baseman and in front of him. So nicely done on the fielding by the Marlins. They get Nowalk at first base, and they prevent Mendolia from moving up on the play.
Yeah,
a little half-check swing.
Yeah, good pitch in there. Able to have him check into that, just ground out to the shortstop.
That'll bring up Cam Burgess. Burgess 1 for 2 with an RBI tonight. So 1 out now. AJ Mendolia at second base. Pretty big lead. Wind up in the pitch. That's outside for ball 1. Mendolia doing his usual, making a pest out of himself out there on the base paths. Jumping around, moving.
Bouncing around.
Yeah, and a huge lead. I don't think he's going anywhere. He's just got a gigantic lead. Wind up in the pitch, and that's swung on and chopped high up in the air. It's going to be handled by the pitcher. He'll go to first base and get the out. It was, by the way, not a great throw. A little bit of a soft toss that fades away, but nonetheless gets the out. So they're 2 out, and Mendolia moves over to third on the chopper to the pitcher. So that'll bring up Blake Barton. Barton has a run scored tonight. He's officially 0 for 1.
Yeah, and he'd love a hit here to drive in AJ. That'd be another RBI for him on the night.
So let's see if the Sharks can't deliver with a 2-out base hit, or at least one of them. Barton hitting out of the number 4 hole. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's a called strike 1 on the outside corner. Barton stands in hitting 296. I'm sorry, hitting 261 on the year. No balls and a strike. Mendolia on at third base, 2 outs. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's swung on and chopped foul. Goes back to the wall. Didn't really get very much of it all, but now 0-2. So Barton is sort of set up at 0-2 here. We're in an 8-7 ball game in the bottom of the 4th inning. Sharks as close to a must-win situation as you can imagine here against the first place Marlins. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Winds and fires, and that's up and in for ball 1. So a ball and 2 strikes. What we talked about at the top of the broadcast was that there's a very narrow path for the Sharks to sneak into the playoffs, but all those paths require them to win ball games. A ball and 2 strikes. Here's the windup in the pitch. That's swung on for strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So Barton goes down on the strikes. That'll end the inning, and now at the end of 4 innings, it's 8-7 Sharks. We'll be back after this. All right, we're back now as we head into the top of the 5th inning of an 8-7 ball game. Both sides need to do something that they can to see whether they can keep consistently getting outs.
USA chants starting. It's getting rowdy in the Shark Tank tonight, Doug. We're in the Shark Tank and it's getting crazy.
Grayson Linderman's still on the hill for the Sharks, and he'll work the 5th, or at least part of the 5th. That's the way it's been going so far. Both teams have been making pitching change after pitching change. This is the 5th pitcher for the Sharks now in the top of the 5th, and the Marlins have used 4 pitchers, through their 4 innings on the field.
Yeah, and in steps McGuire Tuffy. We'll see what this jabroni can do against old Grayson Linderman.
So Tuffy hitting .233. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored tonight. Tuffy's their third baseman. Here's the windup in the first pitch from that's swung on and fouled back. 89-mile-an-hour fastball. And Tuffy fouls it straight back to the screen. Didn't get a lot of it, though.
No, he didn't, Doug. Just looks like he got just under that one. Fouled it back.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's called strike 2, so Tuffy finds himself in an 0-2 hole pretty quickly. Linderman took something off that pitch.
Big pitch here for Linderman.
0-2. Wind up in the pitch. That's up and in for ball 1.
And if you're Linderman, you're desperately wanting to strike out here. After the way the last inning ended, no run support in the bottom of the 4th. A strikeout here would be huge.
Ball and 2 strikes. Tuffy, wind up and pitch from Linderman. That's low for ball 2, makes it 2-2.
And if you're Linderman, you just want to locate.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Linderman looks in, gets a sign. He comes to the plate now on Tuffy, and that swung on and struck him out.
See ya, you jabroni.
So Tuffy goes down on his strikes for the first out of the inning. That's a good start.
You're not wrong there, Doug. That was a daddy hack there. I felt the wind on it from up here.
That'll bring up Cutler. Cutler 1 for 2 tonight. He also has a run scored. So 1 out now as Cutler stands in from the left side, wind up in the pitch. And that's a ball, off speed. Ball and no strikes. I think this is Cutler's first game for the Marlins. At least that's what the statistics say. He's 1 for 2, so he's batting .500. Here comes the windup in the 1-0 pitch. And that swung on and fouled back over towards the restroom facilities, and maybe even a little further than that, out of play. So a ball and a strike now to Cutler. You say he's batting .500, that's pretty impressive. You say he's 1 for 2, that's not so impressive.
Yeah, 500 sounds a lot better than 1 for 2, but, I mean, who's counting?
A ball and a strike, 1 out, wind up in the pitch, and take something off of that, and that's a fly ball. It may get down, and it does. And not only that, it's going to get past.
Nowak's able to hold him at first there, though. Way to get back to it after that.
Nowak came charging in, and as you know, he's got a lot of speed, and he couldn't get there, but made a dive for it. Ticked off his glove, but it didn't get far enough away for the runner to advance to second base. So, probably a hit. I think the ruling is a hit. And now there's a runner on at first base, and by the way, Cutler now 2 for 3, 666.
That's pretty good there, Doug.
And
at least 666 is.
Here's the first pitch into Kenny. Kenny with 1 for 2 tonight, a run scored, also an RBI. He's done some damage. He's a second baseman. First pitch to him is a ball. Linderman looks in and gets a sign here. He winds and pitches, and that's a called strike.
I don't know what he was swinging at there. That was slow motion.
I think he tried to check his swing. I'm not sure whether it was called a swing or whether it was a called strike, but
yeah, Linderman just caught him with a sword.
And that's fouled back over towards the concession stands. Now a ball and 2 strikes. One of the things that it's really odd about here, about the Shark Tank, is, I'm not exaggerating, there are 1,000 foul balls every game no matter what.
You're not wrong about that, Doug. And, you know, everyone knows the plumber's crack, but if your windshield gets cracked, you know who to call. You call Novus Glass.
1 ball and 2 strikes. You know, you crack me up.
Haha, that's a good one.
Oh, where was that?
Calling
it's a
him
strike.
out to
Good.
dry.
That was a very delayed call. In fact, I believe the batter was walking away before the umpire called it a strike. Nonetheless, it's a strike. He needs some more baseballs. The ball girl comes out and brings him a bunch more. So now, 2 outs. Runners still on at first base. Top of the order up in Mershon. He stands in. Linderman checks the runner over at first base. Burgess holding the runner on over there. He comes to the plate, and that's swung on and fouled back. A foul back again. And that's ripped over towards the restroom facilities and the picnic area over here on the left side.
Oops, they did it again.
Oh, good Lord.
I'm just having fun up here, Doug. Come on now.
Your Britney Spears impression leaves a lot to be... Throw over to first base. Runner is back.
I don't know. I thought I did pretty good. I feel like I got a good backup career set as a singer-songwriter.
You know, I feel like if you do that, you're going to be homeless and broke. 0 for 1, 0-1. Linderman comes home to the plate, winds and pitches, and that's a ground ball hit hard on the ground ball to Wilder. He gets it and scoops it up, fires it over to Hassert for the force out, and the Sharks make quick work in the top of the 5th inning of the Marlins. Linderman gets everybody, leaves a runner on base, or doesn't leave a runner. And so now at the end of 4.5, it's an 8-7 ball game, and we'll be back.
Welcome back to the Shark Tank fans as we got the YMCA going on. It's an absolute electric factory in the Shark Tank tonight. An 8-7 ball game in the bottom of the 5th inning as the Sharks look on to tack a couple runs here. YMCA. YMCA. I'm just having fun up here. I'm just living my best life.
All right, we're back. Here's the important thing. Sid is living his best life now doing YMCA after he gave us his version of Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears. You know, I have to apologize. I made a bad crack that you would be homeless and broke if you pursued your career as a background
Something
singer.
like that.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, yeah, you did. I agree with you.
No. You should pursue your dreams, Sid, no matter where they go. I'm telling you this. Vegas is a good place to be homeless, though.
Hey, you never know. I might strike gold in one of the slot machines one day, and then I could be the richest man in the world.
The problem with that is you have to have money to do that. And as we established, broke. All right, 2 balls and no strikes. If anybody wants to write in and give us career advice for Sid, you're welcome to do that. Hassard up at the plate now with Opinel on the hill still for the Marlins. 2 balls and no strikes to Cam. Wind up and ripped right up the middle for a base hit. Opinel tried to get his glove down, but he couldn't get the glove down. That was hit very hard. Right off the mound, skipped up over second base for a base hit.
Yeah, Doug, that was absolutely ripped. Hassert fortunate enough that ball gets through the pitcher and into center field. Now we got Ethan Wilder looking to do something here.
So the Sharks open up again with a leadoff runner on at first base. Hassert 2 for 2. Wait. Yeah. That's right.
2 for 2. You're right.
Nope, 2 for 3.
Something like that. We'll figure it out. So that ball's in there for strike 1 to Ethan Wilder.
Wilder officially 0 for 1 with a run scored. Down in the count now, 0-1. Here's the throw over to first base. Hassert's back. Wilder stands in. Here's Opinel with the pitch. And that's inside for ball 1 now, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sharks have a runner on at first base. Nobody out as we're playing now in the bottom of the 5th. 8-7 Sharks. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's swung on and fouled away. Yeah, it's off near my car.
That foul ball is brought to you by Novus Glass. Every day shattered. Call Novus Glass.
Yeah, Doug, you already know who to call if that hit your car. Don't have your day shattered.
Novus?
You already know.
Novus Glass.
You already know.
1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a throw over to first base. Runner is back. My friend Alex here in the booth drives a nice BMW, but I know this. He's parked it 1.2 miles away where it could never get hit by a foul ball. A ball and 2 strikes, wind up in the pitch. That's swung on and fouled up against the screen. Still 1-2.
Hey, Doug, you ready for this one?
Stand alive, ooh, 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 stand alive.
I have no words. A ball and 2 strikes as the batter, Wilder, is staying alive by fouling off pitches.
That he is, Doug.
Oh.
That he is.
My gosh.
I'm a Swiss Army knife, Doug. I'm a man of many skills.
That's swung on, and it's going to get down. It is. Down into the right field corner. Going for 2. He's going to be in with a double, and the run's going to score.
Big hit there for Wilder, bringing Cam Hassert all the way around from first to home, showing off his wheels there.
And and Wilder gives the fins up sign out from center field, and his teammates reciprocate. So let's break it down just a little bit. He's up there batting right-handed, goes the other way, and hits one fairly hard, directly down the first base line into the right field corner. Didn't go all the way down into the corner, but enough for him to end up with a stand-up double. The throw sort of tried to come home and hit the cutoff man, but there really was no play at the plate of any kind as Hassert comes around to score. And now the Sharks have extended their lead to 9-7, and they still have Wilder on at second base. And that's swung on and fouled back by DiTomaso. DiTomaso, his first at-bat here tonight after he came in to substitute for Drew Sturgeon, who had to leave with an injury of some kind. We haven't gotten word about either what that was or how serious it is. So the Sharks have nobody out, and they've got Wilder on at second. Here's the windup in the pitch to DiTomaso. Swing and a miss, now 0-2.
A lot of movement on that pitch, Doug. That was a filthy.
So 9-7. It hasn't really been a pitcher's duel tonight.
Far from it.
No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's swung on and fouled off down the third base line. Doesn't get out of play, but it hits off the fence down there.
Doug, let's hear your rendition of Staying Alive.
No. I'm not a singer or a dancer. I mean, unlike you, and I wouldn't want to embarrass myself, unlike you. No balls, 2 strikes. I stay in my lane. DiTomaso looking to get something done here. And that drifts outside for a ball and 2 strikes. That was pretty close. I frankly thought that it bared at least trying to foul it off so that he could stay alive. But
I don't think the fans at home want to hear me any longer. I'll keep it quiet.
Follow your dreams. Swung on. Chopper down to the third base. It's going to get through. They're going to send the runner. Here comes the throw. Here comes the play at the plate. And he is out. So an aggressive play there to send the runner for home plate. The throw clearly beat him, and there wasn't much he could do to get around it. That's Ethan Wilder. He also didn't hesitate at all around third base. He was coming full tilt. Ball wasn't really all that deep into right field, and it wasn't really very close.
Yeah, that's just how manager Russ Burrows likes to play the game, always being aggressive on the base paths. We all knew that he was going to send them. Just unfortunate there not to get that one there in time.
So now 1 out, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 1 out. It's 9-7, and DiTomaso can't even take second base on the throw home, so he's at first. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's swung on, and that's a more difficult. Oh, and it takes a nasty hop and gets under Kenny's glove at second. That was a wicked, nasty, ugly hop. I feel bad for Kenny. He didn't really have a chance on it at all as it scoots under his glove. And after all of that, Kamoro ends up at first base.
For the Sharks, number 27, center fielder Dolan Jeffries.
Apparently the ball hit his glove, though. The official score is ruling that E4.
Yeah, he looked set and ready to just looked like a routine play for the second baseman there. Just a lot of spin on that ball and shot right under his glove.
That'll bring up Dolan Jeffries. Here's a windup in the pitch, and that's way outside. Good stop.
Good stop
by
there by
Campbell.
Shane Campbell. Yeah, just a brick wall behind the plate stopping that one. He was stretching out like a hockey goalie there.
Yeah,
Kick saving a beauty.
Not very good fundamentals. You got to get your body in front of those, but he got lucky and stabbed it with his glove, and it's outside for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Dolan Jeffries. Wind up in the pitch. That swung on, hit right at the third baseman. He's going to go over to second for 1. They're going to go to first, and he's safe. Jeffries beats it out with his speed. That was well played by the Marlins defense. Tuffy takes a hard-hit ball, fires it over to Kenny, who makes a strong turn and a strong throw to first base, but Dolan Jeffries beats it out. So there's 2 outs now and runners at first and third. And the Sharks do what? I can see you dancing. I know you want to say it. They're staying alive in this inning.
Oh, you know how it is, Doug. They're staying alive, staying alive. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay. 2 outs, runners at first and third. That's up and away for ball 1.
Crowd really getting behind A.J. Mendolia here. Here we go, A.J. chants echoing through this ballpark.
1-0 to A.J. Mendolia. Mendolia 1 for 2, has a run scored. Wind up in the pitch, that's outside. He holds a runner there, so it's another good play by Shane Campbell. That time he got his body out there to block it.
And A.J. and a number of multiple players on the Sharks ball club from the University of Central Arkansas making the summer trip up to Wilmington. Kind of cool to see a big group of them here on the team.
2 balls and no strikes to Mendolia. You know what? I think that has something to do with us being near a beach. And that's hit a mile up in the air. It's going to be handled out there, I think, by the right field Cutler. He's underneath it and makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. Sharks are going to strand a couple of runnings. Mendolia flies out to right field. But at the end of it, the Sharks push across a run and now have a 9-7 lead. And as we head into the 6th inning, we'll take a break and then we'll be back.
Yes, Doug, I'm sure. Yo, and we're back in the Shark Tank for the top of this 6th inning.
Dylan Rogers at the plate. First pitch to him is from Grayson Linderman is a strike.
Yeah, sorry, I had to hop in, Doug. I really wanted to do that.
Go ahead. Please keep going. I'm going to hit mute, and you got it.
Oh, all right. So Linderman looks at Second. Dylan Rogers, and that's going to be in there for a ball. It's going to be 1-1 for Dylan Rogers. Grayson Linderman on the mound, continuing his work here tonight. So we're in the top of the 6th inning. Linderman fires, and that's a swinging strike too, as Linderman gets ahead in the count. 1-2 to Dylan Rogers. Linderman fires away, and that's a swinging strike 3 for the first out of this 6th inning. Felt the wind on that one, as in steps Nate Anderson, and Linderman gets that first batter swinging on a strikeout.
That'll bring up Nate Anderson, center fielder. Anderson 1 for 2, also has 2 RBIs, so he did some damage a little earlier in the game. Linderman gets the sign. Now he winds and fires to Anderson, and that's a called strike. So far, Linderman is firing strikes here in the top of the 6th, and he had a good shutdown inning there in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, and Grayson Linderman, the Wolf, he looks dialed in right now.
Swung on, foul ball.
Is it a full moon out there tonight, Doug? I don't see a moon.
Do you have a song about that?
I mean, it's the Wolf, man. Full moon's out, the Wolf is dealing.
Did you say Wolf Man on purpose?
Wolf, comma, man.
Do you know who the Wolfman Jack was? Hey, it's Wolfman Jack. You apparently don't know.
I can't say I've ever heard of him, man.
Did you ever hear of the movie American Graffiti? Okay, 0-2. Wind up in the pitch. Ooh, and that's going to leave a mark. Nope, didn't hit him at all.
Are you saying I'm uncultured, Doug?
I'm saying you are. Look, I didn't tell everybody, but now I am. You've never heard of the movie Saturday Night Fever.
I've heard of the movie. I've just never seen the movie.
You don't know who John Travolta really is.
I know who John Travolta really is. Come on now. You're talking down on my name, Doug. You're not giving me enough credit. That is swing and a miss, ball in the dirt.
I'll throw him out there down at first base. Do you know John Travolta wore a white suit and did some dancing in Saturday Night Fever?
I did know that.
Okay. But no idea who Wolfman Jack is. Did you ever hear of the Midnight Special?
I mean, I've heard of a couple midnight specials, but I don't think we're thinking about the same one.
Yeah, it's Wolfman Jack here on the Midnight Special.
Oh, man.
All right, 2 outs. The Wolfman swung on, chopper to shortstop, going to be handled out there by, nope, can't come up with it. That would have been a pretty tough play. The runner was pretty quick down the line, and he had to try and charge it and take it on the short hop. I mean, did Cam Hassert. Couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, that's a tough play for anyone to make. Hassert coming in, the effort was there, but ball just right under his glove, unable to make the play.
So that'll put a man on first base. Official rule is
first pitch in there is going to be a ball to Trent Youngblood, the designated hitter for the Marlins. Marlins tonight rebranded to the Morehead City Fish Tacos because it is Tuesday, meaning it's Taco Tuesday.
So, as a retired lawyer, I'm going to tell you this because I'm sure you don't know. There's actually very active and ugly, nasty litigation going on now between Taco Bell and Taco Villa over who gets to use the name Taco Tuesday.
Not to mention LeBron James filed for a trademark on the Taco Tuesday not too long ago.
So you are up to speed on all that. Now 3-0 to the hitter. What started out as a very quick inning and then had a ground ball that scooted, was unplayable. Let's go with that. Hassert, by the way, official score ruled that a hit. And there's a man on first base, now 3-0 to Youngblood. So the Wolf needs to bear down. Here comes the 3-0 pitch, winds and fires. That's a called strike.
I don't think he was swinging at that no matter what kind of pitch it was.
I agree. Three balls, one strike. Runner on at first base, 2 outs as we're working here now in the top of the 6th of a 9-7 ball game. Linderman comes to the plate, and that's a called strike. Youngblood took a step towards first base, thinking it was a ball. Umpires said, not so fast, young man. So now 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on at first base will be going on the pitch.
Yeah, he was getting ready to flip that bat over to the Marlins dugout, and the ump said, watch this, you jabroni. That's strike 2.
3-2. Linderman comes to the plate. There goes the runner, and that's ball 4. Nope.
That's
called strike 3.
Got him.
Wow. Once again, a delayed call, and Youngblood will go walking over towards the dugout. He was sure he had the walk on the pitch before that, but he doesn't. So now we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 9-7 Sharks. We'll be back after this. Okay, we're back now as we get ready to head in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Sid and Doug back in action.
Yes, Sid and Doug back in action. Is there a song you want to give us? A little snippet of something?
No, all I know is Looney Tunes back in
What
action.
about Aerosmith? I'm back in the saddle again.
I'm back in the saddle again.
I'm back.
I'm back in the saddle again. I feel like I do a pretty solid Steven Tyler impression there.
Okay, you go with that. It's really almost as good as your Britney Spears or your Bee Gees. Really a man of many talents.
Swiss
if
Army knife, Doug.
If I said
Swiss
you were
Army
like
knife.
Rich Little, you wouldn't know what I meant there either, would you?
Probably not.
No.
I'm going to
Okay.
act like I do, though.
Luke Nowalk up to plate. Oppenal on the hill still for his another inning of work, and that's a called strike on the outside corner. Luke didn't think so. He walks away just a little bit to see if he can't clear his head. So Nowalk, Burgess, and Barton. Anybody gets on, it'll be Hassert. Here's the 0-1. Swung on. Hit out to right field. Right fielder is out there, makes the catch. That's Cutler. So hit pretty well, but not very difficult play for the right field Cutler, and there's one out.
First baseman
Cam Burgess stepping in now for the Sharks. Him and Nowalk are actually teammates up in Greenville, North Carolina, both playing for East Carolina University. I've had the pleasure of being able to watch them play in some college games. They've got a long college career ahead of them, and I wish them the best going forward as Cam Burgess steps into the box for the Sharks.
Burgess 1 for 3, has an RBI. Wind up in the pitch. That's a curveball that's in for a strike. Burgess gave up on that about 2/3 of the way to the plate, and then it bent over the plate for a strike. 0-1. Oppenal on the hill for at least his second inning of work. Here's the wind up in the pitch, and that's a called strike on a fastball over the outside corner. So Burgess, I think, has been sort of fooled on a couple of pitches, and now he's down in the hole 0-2. One out here in the bottom of the sixth inning. And that's strike three. So Burgess down on 3 pitches, not one of which he swung at.
Yeah, this has been making quick work of this right now.
I'm just saying we got to change out the battery at the end of the inning.
That's 2 strikeouts in a row for the Marlins pitching staff. As Luke Barton steps in now for the Sharks.
Blake Barton,
excuse me.
Barton 0 for 2. He's got a run scored. He's struck out once. He stands in. Here's a windup in the pitch. And that's another curveball in for a strike. That curveball's pretty nasty, at least. The slider looks pretty nasty. At least it's caught a bunch of Sharks looking at it.
A lot of movement.
Here's the 0-1 pitch now. That's outside for ball 1.
Was that the first ball of this inning?
Might be.
He's been dealing. Put those first 2 batters away. 3 pitches each, if I'm not mistaken.
A ball and a strike. Blake Barton. Barton.
Say Blake Barton 10 times fast, Doug.
2 balls and a strike. Here's the windup and the 2-1 pitch. And that makes it 3-1. So Barton going to make Oppenal come to the plate with a strike before he's going to swing at something. It's now 3 balls and a strike after he started out 0-1. Wind up in the pitch, and that's a ground ball to short. That'll be fielded over there by Mershon and throws him out for the out. And the Sharks go quickly in their half of the 6th inning. Score remains 9-7 Sharks. We'll be back on Flow Sports after this.
Check out the concession stands for some baseball classics. Enjoy it, bro.
Okay, we're back now as we head into the top of the 7th inning, starting to get late. Sharks are managed to hold on to a 9-7 lead. They led at one point 8-0, then they led 8-1. They let almost all of that slip away. They've added a run since then to go to 9, but they've given up 7 runs on what was just a brutal 4th inning for them, where they gave up 6 runs in the inning.
Yeah, Doug, that was some ugly stuff out there for the Sharks. They really let that 8-0 lead slip away. Now we got ourselves a ball game, 7-9, as Austin Skipper comes in for the Sharks. Now, Austin Skipper, local kid. I had the pleasure of going to high school with him for a few years before he transferred to New Hanover High School. And he actually won a state championship on this very field, if I'm not mistaken, with the Wildcats in 2018, as he plays his college ball at the University of Methodist now.
Wind up in the pitch. Ooh, that didn't break anywhere and was high and inside for ball 1. So your story is that he transferred high schools, not that you either flunked out or left early.
Yeah, he transferred over.
Okay. So a ball and a strike. Austin Skipper on the hill for his first inning of work. Skipper with 13 2/3 inning work, but sort of inflated 8.56 ERA, but he's got a bunch of strikeouts, 15 strikeouts in only 13 innings, and that's a strike now for a ball and 2 strikes to the catcher Campbell.
Yeah, and Skipper working quick here in this top of the 6th.
That's outside. Runs the count now to 2-2. You know, as a former catcher for most of my life, that's who I feel sorry for in 9-7 games. It is a lot of work in quick ball games, but in games where there have been wild pitches and plays at the plate and, I guess that's ball 3. Skipper thought it was a strikeout. I thought it was a strike.
I did too, Doug. I thought he hung him out to
Trackman thought it was
dry.
a strike. None of that matters because Blue didn't think it was a strike. So 3-2, there's the windup in the pitch. And that's a fly ball. It's on his horse for Dolan Jeffries. He goes over and makes the catch easily. Jeffries is a very smooth outfielder. He's got wheels. He gets over to where he needs to be and then makes the catch without a lot of pomp and circumstance. So, what?
Yeah. Jeffrey's able to show off his wheels there, able to get under that ball quickly,
Up to that, number 11, McGuire.
make the out.
So that'll bring up McGuire Tuffy. He's the third baseman. Tuffy 1 for 2. Also a strikeout, and that's a strike on his first pitch from Austin Skipper. I like saying that, though, Austin Skipper.
Skipper!
I don't say it like that. And that's a ball down low, so a ball and a strike now.
And that's Yahtzee, Doug. It's the little things in life. We got number 11 at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 5 ones. That's
I
Yahtzee.
think that happened earlier. Wind up in the pitch, and that drifts outside. Now 2-1.
You gotta celebrate the little things up here, man.
Okay. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Asked for help from the third baseman. Nope, he didn't go around, he says. Now it's 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike now on Tuffy as Skipper continues to work. See if wind up in the pitch. That's swung on, and that's going to get past. That was hit very hard, and Wilder got a glove on it, but then it ricocheted off into center field. Dolan Jeffries picks it up, gets it back in. And that's going to be ruled a hit.
Doug, while we got a second, it is time to remind everyone that you can catch every Coastal Plain League baseball game here on Flow Sports Baseball. Every single one, Doug, and I mean every single one. And everyone in the Shark Tank, you will catch me and you up here in the booth.
3 balls and a strike. Thanks for saying that. And that's swung on, and that's going to get down in front of no walk out in left field for a base hit. So now that's 2 hits on 2 consecutive pitches.
Up to that, number 9.
Both of them hit very hard.
That you're right about, Doug. And now I believe that the
That'll bring up the bottom of the order in Mike Kenny, the second baseman. But we're going to have a trip to the mound first. And, as usual, a full convention.
oh, you know it. Just a nice little powwow.
Wait. Look at the camera here. No walk. Slowly walking towards center field to seek some camaraderie out there from Dolan Jeffries.
Look at them. They're going to hang out.
Yeah, and so now
Just a couple
what we
guys
really
being
have
dudes.
is Di Tommaso all by himself over in right, wondering why he doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, poor D. Tommaso. I don't know what you can do about that. Hey, quick shout out to my friend Cameron. Shout out you, Cameron. Appreciate the support.
Okay, Cameron sent you a nice text.
Yeah, he was gassing me up a little bit. He liked my singing a little more than you did.
Okay, so he has unfortunate psychological problems. I mean, I don't know how
Don't hate
else.
on my boy. Don't hate on my boy.
I don't know how he can possibly have supported you in your singing career. Could you hit us again?
Oops, I did it again.
Here's the windup in the pitch. After a mound visit and a discussion with Ross Burrows, the first one from Skipper is ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Wind up in the pitch. That's a strike. Very off speed, curveball for a ball and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on at second base. Runner on at first base. Big leads by both runners. There's the pitch, and that's outside for 2 balls and a strike. So the Shark infield is aligned like this. The first baseman, Burgess, is all the way up on the grass, maybe thinking about some form of a bunt. Mendolia behind the bag, and that's a called strike on a slow
sweet
curveball.
fancy Moses. That one came in there with some movement.
So now 2-2, and then the middle of the infield in Hassard and Wilder are playing at double play depth. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners at first and second. 9-7. The Sharks clinging to a 2-run lead. Wind up in the pitch. It's outside. Kenny looked like he wanted to go, but didn't chase it.
Yeah, it looked like Skipper was trying to get him to chase it. That one outside there, Doug.
Well, Skipper's got to come with a strike now of some kind, or he's going to load the bases with just 1 out. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's swung on. A fly ball, and it's going to get taken up and eaten out by Dolan Jeffries. I'm telling you, you hit anything out in center field, and Dolan Jeffries is not only going to get there, he's going to slow down on his way there and make the catch.
He's like a Roomba vacuum out there, just sweeping anything up that comes out to center field. Just all over the place tonight. Showing off them wheels, able to get under that one, make it look routine.
So 2 outs, both of those outs on fly balls out to Dolan Jeffries. So runners now at first and second, top of the order, Mershon, dangerous hitter, and that's not a strike. They asked for a little bit of help, but they said he didn't go around.
Yeah, Dolan Jeffries tonight just showing why he's got
ball
that
one,
dog in him.
1 ball, no strikes.
Oh, oh.
Skipper looks in to get the sign. Here's a windup in the pitch, and that's low and away. Now ball 2. Mershon, a dangerous hitter, still hitting .371, home run, 22 RBIs. And he gets a base hit here. They're going to bring in at least 1 run, and if it gets down, might tie the game. 2-0. Skipper looks in for the sign, winds and fires, and that's a called strike. Again on that off-speed curveball thing.
Whatever he's got in that arsenal.
I'm telling you what, it's caught all the Marlin batters flat-footed, though, when it comes in. They haven't had a good swing on it. 2-1. 2-1. Wind up in the pitch. That's outside for 3-1. Maybe a little low. Now 3-1 to Marchand. Once again, Skipper in danger of walking the bases loaded. Rogers on deck.
And with 2 outs here, he really wants to head back over to that Sharks dugout.
3-1. Here's a pitch, and that's swung on and hit very deep into right field. And Di Tommaso is going to be back there and make the catch. So Skipper gets him out on 3 fly balls to the outfield, and that retires the side. So now at the as we head into the bottom of the 7th inning, the score is still 9-7 Sharks. We'll be back.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Shark Tank as we look to get started in this bottom of the 7th inning. Our picture is about to go out as we need to change the batteries in our camera. Let's see how fast Doug can get this going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 seconds, Doug. Still no signal as Cam Hassert steps into the box for the Sharks. And now we got picture. We're up and running, and we're ready to get this bottom of the 7th inning started with Cam Hassert leading off for the Sharks. And Cam Hassert, CPL All-Star out of the Villanova University. That first pitch is in there for a strike. He showed a lot of production at the plate this season as he looks to get the Sharks rally kick started here.
We don't have.
As he drills that one into center field, Cam Hassert, that's another hit for him tonight. As he's going to be into first standing up.
We don't have a full battery, so we're going to have to do something at about 30 minutes, but we also don't know how much is actually on this one.
Gotcha.
You with me? Okay.
I'm with you.
Press that so this goes away. Just anywhere. Thank you.
As into the box steps Ethan Wilder, second baseman. Seeing if he can move Cam Hassert over to second or even drive him in. As the first pitch is upstairs for a ball. So 1 ball, no strikes, no one out. Cam Hassert hanging out over there at first base. Getting a little bit of a lead.
Wilder 1 for 2 tonight, Sid.
1 for 2 is Ethan Wilder on the night.
Also has an RBI and a run scored.
That's not too bad as he whiffs at that one. Sweet baby Moses. Not a pretty swing there. Is this going to be 1-1 to Ethan Wilder? Pitcher gets his sign. Fires. That one's hit straight up the middle, right to short. Fires over to first, and that's going to be a Marlins double play. Unfortunately, that's going to be a double play for the Sharks. As in steps Steven DiTommaso. So my partner Doug had to step out for a bit, so it's just going to be me and you guys, all the fans at home, all of my fans at home. Shout out to all my family members watching, mom and dad, Cameron, Curran, the whole gang. As that first pitch is fouled back for strike number 1. And that foul ball is hit into the parking lot. And you know that that foul ball is presented by Novus Glass. Don't have your day shattered. Call Novus Glass. So it's going to be 2 outs, nobody on for the Sharks. Second pitch is in there for a ball to DiTommaso. It's going to be 1-1. Pitcher sets, fires, 1-1 pitch on the way. And that one's going to be low for ball number 2. And DiTommaso coming into this game for Drew Sturgeon earlier in the ball game, who exited this game due to injury, unfortunately. It's his second at-bat for the day. He is 1 for 1 right now. That's in there for a ball. So it's going to be 3-1 now to DiTommaso. As O'Panel gets the sign, sets, fires, and that one's going to be in there and bring the count full. 3-2 now to DiTommaso. Bottom 7, 2 outs, full count to DiTommaso. O'Panel really wants to put this Sharks batter to bed. Gets his sign, fires. That one's driven into right center field. DiTommaso on base again. He makes a wide turn off of first base, looking for 2, as he ultimately skirts up and turns back around. As now batting for the Sharks is going to be the catcher, Case Kermode.
Case Kermode.
Case Kermode in now for the Sharks. After that base hit by DiTomaso, looks like it's going to be a mound visit here for the Marlins. Just a couple of words from the manager. Couple words, couple fist bumps, and it looks like we're going to get back underway quickly. Not too long of a break there.
Alright, here we go. Water's a Gatorade.
Found a waitress.
Water. Gatorade.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias, Doug.
Oh, that's not yours.
He gets a Gatorade.
All right. Well, now we look to get back underway. Case Kermode at the plate for the Sharks. Steven DiTomaso on first, and that ball is up and in. That's going to be ball one. Almost hit my boy Case Kermode. Almost domed him.
Oh, God, you have no idea what's going on up there. Do you know the song Staying Alive?
All right, 1-0 pitch on the way. And that's a bit outside for ball two. So 2-0 now to Case Kermode. Let the kids play. So panel sets. 2-0 pitch on the way. Fires. And that's inside for ball three. 3-0 now to Case Kermode. With Dolan Jeffries sitting on deck. One more ball and he's going to be walked. You can't imagine he'll be swinging at any pitch coming his way. Pitch on the way. And that's outside and you walked him. So it's going to be runners on first and second now for the Sharks. As in steps number 27, the center fielder, Dolan Jeffries.
So Jeffries has had a strong night tonight. He is 1 for 3, but he also has 2 RBIs and a run score and has played a sparkling center field. Who's Novus class? Oh, you're not Novus class? Are you Mr. Novus?
So that ball, first pitch in there for a ball to Dolan Jeffries. It's going to be 1-0 now. O'Pannell looking to get out of this inning now. Is 2 on, 2 outs. As Dolan Jeffries at the plate. And that's going to be the 6th ball in a row for O'Pannell. As it's now 2-0 to Dolan Jeffries. A walk here would load the bases and transfer back to the top of the lineup for the Sharks, where the always dangerous AJ Mendolia is lurking. 2-0 pitch on the way, and that's going to be ball 3 as they check down to first base. Almost had him. First baseman dropped the ball. Looks like Kermode couldn't get back in time, but first baseman ultimately dropped the ball. It's going to be 3-0 now. 3-0 now to Dolan Jeffries. Pitch gets the sign. Checks over to second base. Fires away. And that one's in there for a strike. So 3-1 now to Dolan Jeffries. Mr. Shark, Tom Lamont, trying to get the team riled up with some 2-out magic. 3-1 pitch on the way, and that one's fouled back. That one looked like it might have been a ball, but Dolan Jeffries fighting that one back, making the count full. So full count now. Pitch on the way. Fires. And that one's fouled on into the concourse. And it looks like Dolan Jeffries is going to be staying alive. Staying alive. Oh. Staying alive. With 2 outs, runners will go on contact. So anything through will score that runner for second base. And a late call as he struck him out. So no runs, 2 left on base for the Sharks as we head into the top of the 8th. We'll be right back.
To you, so watch out for the Shark staff roaming the seating areas right now to take your trash items. Thanks, Sharks fans.
But if you have a crack, I'll know this glass. And then I said, you know what, you really cracked me up. So, you know.
Say no to crack is another one.
Okay, we're back.
Now pitching for the Sharks, number 35, Caleb Leno.
So Caleb Leno now comes into the game for the Sharks. We're getting late here now. It's the top of the 8th inning. Sharks are clinging to a 2-run lead, Sid.
Yeah, 7-9 ball game. They busted this game open in the bottom of the 2nd, made it 8-0, but a rough top of the 4th for the Sharks defense made this game 7-8. 8-7. They were able to drive in another run there in the bottom of the 6th, or bottom of the 5th, I believe. And
So here's
we were
what's
at
odd about
9-7.
it. The Sharks played 8 runs in the 2nd inning and basically have done wind up in the pitch. That's inside for ball 1. Basically, the Sharks score 8 runs in the 2nd and then have done nothing. They got 1 run in the 5th. The Marlins, on the other hand, score 6 runs in the 4th, and other than that, they have 1 run in the 3rd and nothing. When you look at the line score, there's a pitch, and that's outside for ball 2. When you look at the line score, it's very bizarre. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 6, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 8, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. So wind up in the pitch. That's a high fly ball. I think it's going to be handled by, and it is, Mendolia comes running up the line, calls off the catcher, Kermode, and handles it. Aggressive play by A.J. Mendolia, and that's the first out of the inning. It's a pop foul.
Yeah, and that's a big out. Big play by A.J. Mendolia, able to track that one down. Definitely lost it in the light from what it looked like, but
Yeah.
Right place, right time under it to make the snag. And Doug, it's been a struggle for the Sharks all season, leaving runners on base. They've left a number of runners stranded this game as that ball is in there for strike 1.
And this is Anderson up at the plate.
And they've left a number of runners on base in this ball game. Could only think what the score would be if they were able to drive those in. That ball's down low for ball 1.
Anderson 1 for 3, but 2 RBIs. He had a big base hit in all of that mayhem that happened in the 4th. There's a swing and a foul ball down towards the beer garden, where I'm looking down, and I'm sorry to say, it didn't hit anybody because there ain't nobody there.
Yeah, not a whole lot of people down past that light pole, Doug, down that first base line.
There's still a
Crowd stretched thin a little bit tonight.
Yeah, but it's still actually any number of people right here in the middle in the grandstand.
You know why no one's here, Doug? Because they're all at home catching this game on FloBaseball.
Because
just like
most of them
every
said
game on FloBaseball.
most of them said the broadcasting crew is outstanding. Plus, it's the game of the day.
You're darn too.
A ball and 2 strikes, wind up in the pitch. That's swung on. That's a line drive. I think that's going to get down, and it is. So a little flare line drive gets down in right center in front of Dolan Jeffries. Boy, I don't think you say in front of Dolan Jeffries very often.
No, sir.
So now a runner on at first base, 1 out. And that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Walsh, 1 for 4 tonight. But I don't like saying number 4 hitter with a runner on base. That is a windup in the pitch, and that's fouled off.
That one's out into the parking lot where that foul ball is also presented by Novus Glass, and we all know plumber cracks, and don't look at that plumber crack. Don't look at a crack in your windshield. Call Novus Glass.
0-1, wind up in the pitch. That's down and away for ball 1. So 1-1 now to Walsh. That's down and away now. Oh, and there goes the runner on a delayed steal. Here's a throw.
See ya, buddy.
See ya.
Ya jabroni.
So Case Kermode throws out another runner. Anderson on a delayed steal tried to lull everybody to sleep. Now the umpire is making the Sharks go back into the dugout. He does not appreciate the enthusiasm.
I don't blame him for coming out and hyping up their boy. That was an absolute rocket by Case Kermode down to second base.
The Sharks were caught
had no chance.
A little flat-footed, but the runner went before Kermode actually got himself loaded up. He took one step too early. But also, for Hassert to get over there on the coverage was good. There's a ground ball. It's going to go down. Oh, my, a bad hop. Gets past the diving Mendolia. Runner's going to go into second. Here's the throw into second, and he's going to stand up with a double. So Walsh doubles down the line, and now how big is the play of throwing the runner out?
That's huge, Doug, because that would have most definitely driven in a run there. Would have been a one-run ball game. Instead, we stay at 9-7. 1 on, 2 outs. As Trent Youngblood steps in. What a name, Trent Youngblood.
You like that?
That is a pretty good name.
Wind up in the pitch. That's in for a strike. So immediately starting him off 0-1 does Caleb Leno. Runner at second base. They're going to need a base hit to get him home. Big play throwing out the runner. Case Kermode throwing out the runner there at second base. Otherwise, he may have scored very well on that play down there. And that's some off-speed pitch, but it drifts outside. So now a ball and a strike.
Yeah, and that one looked
on
like
Youngblood.
A couple moans and groans from the crowd. They thought that one should have been a strike. Trackman looks like it was on the fringe there, but could have gone either way. Ooh. Sweet baby Moses. I felt the wind on that one from up here.
So ball and 2 strikes, right?
Yes, sir. It's going to be 1 and 2. One more strike for Leno to put this one away.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Youngblood. Man on second. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's swung on. Kicks off the shins of Leno, but he saves a run with a kick save. That would have gone up the middle, and that would have scored the runner, but instead, Caleb Leno's shin took a beating.
Yeah, kick saving a beauty, Doug.
Trainer's going to walk out and make sure he's okay. Looks to me like Leno is telling her, yeah, thanks for the visit, but I'm all right. But nonetheless, Burroughs is going to take the chance to walk out and both check on his pitcher, and I'm sure Burroughs is going to say it's not a mound visit. He has to look over the pitcher.
Yeah, he's just making sure his boy's all right.
No balls, no strikes. We get a new batter up at the plate, and it's going to be Campbell, the catcher.
Yeah, and Leno really needs to retire this batter. The Sharks cannot afford to give up any more runs in this ball game. They have a 2-run cushion right now, but as me and you know, Doug, anything can happen in the Shark Tank. So it's going to be runners on the corners, 2 out for the Marlins. Leno fires. His first pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Campbell up to bat for the Marlins. As Leno fires, and that one's hit right over to short. Cam Hasher makes the play, tossing over to Ethan Wilder there at second. As we head into the bottom of the 8th, we'll be right back.
Hey, we've seen a couple balls up close. I have not seen a ball. I saw the first ball go over the right.
Okay, we're back now as we head into the bottom of the 8th inning.
Oh, I haven't switched that up.
That's all right, I
My
got
apologies. I was just making sure you're paying attention, Doug.
it. That's me. I am always paying attention. You know why I am paying attention?
Why?
I'm a lead play-by-play guy.
All right. That's a little bit of a jab there.
No jab. I'm just making clear to everybody who's running the booth.
You sure about that?
Well, I know this. I can also mute your mic.
You're right about that, Doug. I'll shut up.
No. I don't want you to shut up. I need your input. I just want you to recognize my authority.
I know where I stand in this booth. It's all right.
Yeah, perfect. Actually, to be fair, you're standing immediately to my right. I mean, like 18 inches to my right.
Not too bad.
That's where you stand.
Third baseman A.J. Mendolia.
So the Sharks have the top of the order up here now as we head into the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 9-7. It'll also be interesting to find out who the Sharks decide that they're going to bring in to see if they can't close down this game. They'll need 3 more outs in the top of the 9th to take a win, a pretty big win from the first place Marlins.
Into the box steps A.J. Mendolia with the sickest mustache in the CPL. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but
Oh, it's fabulous.
he's got to put some product in it or something. Has a mean handlebar.
Ty Bothwell now on the hill. Wind up in the pitch. That's outside for ball 1. Not only does he have a terrific mustache, but he also has one of the best eyes in the CPL and when it comes to figuring out whether it's a strike. There's a pitch.
Thought you were talking about something else, Doug. I was about to say pause. Pause for a second.
Okay,
Take a
2
couple
balls
steps
and no
back.
strikes. Wind up in the pitch. That's swung on and another fly ball. That's a couple of these popped up out there. That's going to be handled by the second baseman. A little bit more difficult than you think. Mike Kenny makes the catch for the out.
Up to bat for the Sharks, number 21, left fielder Luke Nowak.
Luke Nowak comes up now to the plate.
Yeah, those aren't boos. Those are Lukes.
Nowak is 0 for 4 tonight. He does have a run scored as he got on base earlier. I think he was hit by a pitch. Is that right? Yeah,
I think
hit
you
by
might
a
be
pitch.
right.
So, nonetheless, 0 for 4, runs scored. Now he's in there. Wind up in the first pitch is a called strike. Nowak's average now at 292 as he stands in.
He's kind of cooled off a little bit since the All-Star break. He was red hot.
Wind up in the pitch, that's inside, goes all the way back, and then actually comes back off the wall, right to the catcher, who picks it up, throws it back as if nothing happened.
Yeah, that
I think it actually went right through the umpire's legs on the way
right
back.
through the
to-
wickets. Get
Yeah.
nutmegged, son.
From the back. So a ball and a strike now with 1 out. Luke Nowak at the plate. Sharks need to figure out whether they can get some extra runs here as a wind up in the pitch. That's outside for ball 2, now 2-1. 9-7 Sharks, bottom of the 8th inning. Still here in the top of the order, A.J. Mendolia flew out to the second baseman a ways out onto the grass in right field. Now no walk, 2-1, and that's ball 3, so 3-1. Bothwell into pitch. Ty Bothwell on the hill for the Marlins.
And as a hitter, this is exactly where new Luke Nowak wants to be. Ahead in the count, 3-1. Only one out.
Wind up in the pitch, and that's ball 4. So Nowak is going to head down to first base. We all know that Nowak has a lot of speed. And so we'll find out whether he might be on the move. So Nowak has 19 stolen bases on the year. I mean, he is geared up to run and then run.
Yeah, he's a quick little booger out there on first base.
Yeah, and in fact, well, I don't see it here as quickly as I'd like to. I was trying to figure out exactly where he was when it came to stolen bases in the league, because I think he's right up there. Top 10 in stolen bases. Oh my gosh, just looking at it here, there's a guy named Brown with 37 stolen bases.
And that pitch is fouled back for make the count 0-2 to Cam Burgess.
1 out, no walk on at first base. Bothwell throws over to first, try and keep him a little bit close, but not a very effective throw, just more of a hi, how you doing? Remember me? I'm over here.
Yeah, he didn't look too urgent with that one.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And that's swung on. One hopper to the shortstop. He goes to second for one. They'll go to first. And they got him.
That's
so the
bang,
Marlins
bang.
turn a double play. I thought they got him myself. But nonetheless, Burgess grounds into a double play, and that'll end the inning. So now we go into the top of the 9th inning, and the Sharks are going to need to get 3 outs to see if they can't salt this one away. We'll be back after this.
Welcome back to the Shark Tank, everyone, as we have a couple of defensive substitutions and changes. Cam Burgess is now in on the mound for the Sharks, moving A.J. Mendolia over to first base. They moved Ethan Wilder over to third base, and in for Ethan Wilder is going to be Alec Gonzalez down there on second.
So Gonzalez actually comes in, I think, for the pitcher, right? Because they're going to leave Leno in the game to see if he can't close it out.
Oh, that is Cam Burgess on the mound now.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You're right. Burgess is on the mound.
And Burgess, a normal position player, has one appearance, if I'm not mistaken, just one this season, where he went in against the Florence Flamingos, working 6 innings and striking out 5 batters over that time. He was just untouchable in that game for the Sharks.
We have guide dogs on the field. We have
That's
Pump
Bat
It
Dog.
Up, Pump It Up playing. It's
That's the Bat Dog.
It's like a circus here.
Yeah, crowd's really getting into it. It is really getting pumped up now. But that's Marucci the Bat Dog. Bat Dog.
Now pitching for the Sharks, No. Number 14, Cam Burgess.
Okay, so Burgess in to pitch.
Up to bat, number 11,
McGuire Tuffy leads it off here for the Marlins. So it'll be Tuffy, Cutler, and Kenny, the bottom three in the order, as the Sharks try and get 3 outs. First pitch from Burgess is high and away for ball 1. Well, you should see my screen here. It says we got nobody playing first and nobody playing second. Oh, and that's going to hit him. So Burgess walks in, and the first thing he does is hit a batter, which is either a good thing, as in you guys better look out because I know how to hit people, or a bad thing because now we have a runner at first base. And here's why it's actually bad. Because now there's a decent chance that Mershon is going to hit at the top of the order. Mershon, the guy with the 371 average, who with 1 for 3 and 2 RBIs and 2 runs score, a guy you don't want to see at the plate in a 2-run game. So this will bring up Cutler. Cutler is 3 for 4 himself.
Yeah, Marchand is definitely not someone you want to see up for the Sharks.
So Burgess inside. Nice stop there by Case Kermode.
And this is a really risky, bold play. Let's see if it pays off for manager Russ Burrows. Putting a position play in there on the mound for Cam Burgess.
Burgess came in with no warm-up, too.
And there's a line drive, 1 hop off the chest. They get 1. So that's a good play out there by Alex Gonzalez, who was just brought in to play second base. And the very second batter, like the third pitch of the inning, hits a scorcher right at him, takes it off the short hop, up off his glove and off his chest, and has the patience to go to second to get the lead runner. Frankly, I thought he was going to go to first. It would have been probably a higher percentage play.
Yeah, great job by Gonzalez, able to hose down that lead runner.
And, of course, a part of that makes it play is you got to know Hassert's going to be there, and Hassert was there. So here's a windup in the pitch, and now that's a called strike as he's working now to Kenny.
Yeah,
Kenny 1 for 4.
And let's see how Burgess does here. He comes into this game with no warm-up, just straight off of first base onto the mound.
Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That's swung on and fouled back, so now he's got him 0-2. I wonder if somebody told Cam that he's supposed to waste a pitch here on the 0-2, or whether he's just going to come in with it. No rules. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. And that's swung on and fouled back, high off the screen. We should also tell our viewers here that as a result of some of the technical issues, there's at least a chance that somehow or another the picture just goes out with the battery.
You never know, Doug.
But I just want everybody to be aware that even if that happens, we'll keep up the radio call. Here's the windup in the pitch, and that's called strike 3. Goodbye. Go sit down.
See ya.
So,
I was going to say no curveball, no changeup, nothing but frickin' gash.
Nope,
but
you're wrong.
caught him there with a changeup.
Apparently he caught you flat-footed too.
Yeah.
Up to bat,
All right.
Joseph Mershon.
So 2 outs now. Mershon, the top of the order, as I said, 371, 1 for 3, 2 RBIs, 2 runs score, a very, very dangerous hitter. And he's up there now with 2 outs and a runner on at first base. Mershon is the tying run at home. Wind up in the pitch. That's up for ball 1. Pretty exciting here in the Shark Tank. A lot of enthusiasm from the crowd, and a lot of the Sharks players standing on the warning track outside the dugout. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's a called strike now for 1-1.
Yeah, and this is going to be a huge win. That's going to be back-to-back wins for the Sharks if they can see this one through. Doing great things for their playoff chances.
A ball and a strike to Marchand. Burgess looks in, winds and fires, and that's a called strike on the inside corner. Mershon didn't like it. He stood there and then leaned his head back, but he's down now to his last strike. And the Sharks now, the fans are standing, fins are up. There's a lot of clapping and noise in the stadium here at the Shark Tank. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 9th, 9-7 game. Here's a windup in the pitch. That's up and away. And I'll tell you this, Kermode had a mind to throw that down to first base, but first baseman there, Mendolia, is way behind the bag. He's playing to make sure nothing gets past. Both first and third basemen are guarding the lines. They're playing at double play depth and wind up in the pitch, and that fades outside. So now it's 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner from first will be going. The Sharks are playing sort of a no doubles defense, at least on the infield. They want to make sure nothing gets down the line. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that's swung on, and that's a line drive into right center field. Dallin Jeffries is going to pick it up. He's going to come in and make the throw. They're going to hold the runner at third base. He's not the important run after all. And so Mershon gets a base hit, and the inning continues.
Number 12, Dylan Rogers.
So that'll bring up Dylan Rogers. Dylan Rogers came in as a pinch hitter, I don't know, somewhere, maybe the 5th or the 6th, something like that. So now there's some discussion as some signs get flashed from Case Kermode to the rest of the infield, so we know what we're doing. Mendolia is going to hold the runner at first base. The runner at first base in Mershon is the tying run, and that hits him. So
That's
now
not what you want to do.
That'll move the tying run into scoring position at second base as Burgess hits him. So at the moment, anyway, it's still a 9-7 baseball game.
Up to bat, number 10, Nate Anderson.
And that'll bring up Nate Anderson. He's 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. So he's dangerous. He bats from the left-hand side of the plate. He's got the bases loaded. Base hit is probably going to tie it.
You're not wrong, Doug. Let's see what Cam Burgess can do here.
So Burgess looks in for the sign. There's a windup of the pitch, and he pops him up. That's going to be handled out there by Alec Gonzalez, and he makes the catch, and that's the win, and the crowd comes out to give a big hug.
That's another
a big hug to Cam Burgess.
W.
And as he gets Rogers to pop up, Anderson to pop up to end the game. So the Sharks are going to win it 9-7, and the Marlins are going to leave the bases loaded here in the top of the 9th. Tell you what, we're going to take a commercial, and then we're going to come back and give you the game summary. We'll be back after this.
1 second, Doug. Ooh.
So we're back. Hang on a second while we get ourselves together here. Hey, Alex, will you tell somebody to empty the trash in one of these guys?
Yeah, I'll ask him that.
And we're back. We're back. So let's see if we can't give you some of the statistics here. It was a pretty funky game, really, Sid. When you get right down to it, when you hear these numbers here at the end, you'll understand what it is I'm saying. First of all, for the first place, but now defeated Marlins, their line looks like this. They had 7 runs on 14 hits, but they also made 4 errors.
Yeah, and those errors really came back to bite them, Doug. Costed them 2 runs, and when it was all said and done, being the difference in tonight's ball game.
Right, and one of those runs you remember was not only just an error, but they hit Barton in the butt, and he came around to bite him in the butt when he scored later on in the inning. Nonetheless, 7 runs, 14 hits, 4 errors for the Marlins. The Sharks, on the other hand, had 9 runs on 10 hits and no errors. So that's that. One of the things that we've been trying to straighten out here is who actually gets the win, and it's an interesting little predicament, Sid. On the one hand, the starting pitcher, who was Daniels, only went 2 innings, so he doesn't qualify for a win, right, because he didn't go more than that. On the other hand, Daniels was the pitcher of record at the time when the Sharks scored all of those runs at the bottom of the second, runs that ultimately stood up for the win. The official rule in all of baseball is that the official scorer gets to pick who gets the win, and he gets to pick not Sales, because he didn't go 5, because that's a rule, but whoever he thinks is the most effective relief pitcher over the course of the game. So after having all of those considerations and looking at the line, Linderman is going to get the win tonight. And then, by the way, that's right. So the lines for everybody are Daniels goes 2, Sales goes 1, Nomura goes a third, Dimitru goes only a third, Skipper goes an inning, Leno goes an inning, Burgess goes an inning, but Linderman goes 2 and a thirds. He gives up only 2 hits, and he gives up no runs, and he had 5 strikeouts. So I'd have to agree with Evan, who's our official statistician, and we're going to give Linderman the win.
The Wolf coming in, making some noise, howling at the Marlins tonight.
And by the way, that'll also give Burgess the save.
There you go.
Right? For the Marlins, on the other hand, it's pretty easy. Devaney, who is their starter, goes an inning, gets nobody out in the second, right, but pitches most of the second. He gives up 3 hits. He gives up 8 runs, and 5 of those runs were earned, so he'll get the loss. So, again, give the win to Linderman, the save to Burgess, and the loss to Devaney. All right, that'll wrap it up here from the Shark Tank. Big win for the Sharks as they take out the first-place Marlins by a score of 9-7. So that'll do it for Sid. Wait.
Sid Vicious.
Sid Tripp.
Yes, sir. Sid Tripp.
Sid Tripp. And I'm Doug Neeb. And we're back here, I think next time we're back here, right, is on Thursday night against the Fungo.
Yes, sir.
All right. That'll be all from the Shark Tank. Thanks for being with us tonight. We appreciate you being here. And, of course, all the Coastal Plain League games are on FloBaseball, so we want to thank FloBaseball as well. So from the Shark Tank, this is Doug. And for Sid, good night.
Thanks, everyone.